Shabbat Shalom, Israel.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the remnant.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the elect.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the returned.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hallelujah. And Shabbat Shalom to those of y'all that are still seeking the light, the truth, and the way, which is a narrow path. Many are on that path looking for the truth or looking for that path. Many are searching for that, but few be that find it. We know only a remnant of a remnant of a remnant. But Satan in these days is working hard to take our people off that path. Even if it was possible, the very elect would be deceived. And so the word of truth has to go out to those that are hearing the word of Yah. His sheep know his voice. So once again, the last time y'all saw me, I said that I was going into part 2 for the sacrifices and offerings, that it was important to understand the purpose, the plan, the laws, the differences, the ordinances or the statutes or decrees concerning the sacrifices before you could go into the prophets and understand what the prophets are saying. A lot of what I just delegated concerning going against the argument and the foundation of what Yaki inside of Malaki is building, thinking that he's going back to the Genesis 1:29 diet, where I show you that what he's teaching is a doctrine of demons. It is directly against the testimony and the shadow of the good things to come in Yehoshua. There is no testimony or report that you can believe about Yehoshua if you don't understand and believe the sacrifices that Yah had set up. Now, once again, I say very clearly, yes, those physical ordinances that Yah had put in place as mercy for us during that time is no longer in effect, but yet they are, right? We do not sacrifice offerings. We do not sacrifice incense. We do not sacrifice burnt offerings, but we do eat meat. That is a different scenario, and we're not going to conflate the argument. We're not going to conflate that. And so all that you get, let's get some understanding, right? What Yah has called good, let no man call evil. What Yah has called holy, let no man say that is wicked. What Yah has set aside and hallowed it by his word, let no man say that is unholy or unclean. And anyone that does that is speaking blasphemy against the word and the good word of Yah. Okay? And so we're going to get into the sacrifices. But before then, this is really, I have to break this up because like I said, you got a wizard here that's doing sorcery on y'all. He's speaking so fast and he's throwing so much that you think you're learning something and you're learning nothing. He is wrestling. Peter said that in those days, they wrestle with Paul just like they do the scriptures. Who can't see that this fool is wrestling with the word, right? He's wrestling with it. He calls it conflict. All he can see now is conflict, contradiction, and hypocrisy in the Bible. That's all he can see. If that ain't a clear sign of someone wrestling with the word, put it down and learn. Shut your mouth, Malaki. So he calls, is it conflict or harmony? Now, Yah is not the author of confusion. And Yah has delegated his word of perfection for those that he sends to deliver the word, to explain these things and to harmonize them. I have never, since Yah has called me to deliver a word to you, been in conflict with anything that Yah has said from the old to the new. It is congruent. It is making sense. It fits. It's a testimony of a testimony. It is a foreshadow of the good things that come. And you cannot understand anything in the New Testament until you know the Old. And so what we see here is someone who has confidently spoke in his presumptuous pride. That is a false prophet. How did he speak for 10 years so proudly, so arrogantly, so surely, so confident? Or would he be speaking in the Torah for 10 years and come to the point where all he can see is conflict? He has spoken as a presumptuous pride. He's presumed to know something. He's presumed that Yah has called him. He's presumed that he got wisdom and understanding. He's presumed himself to be a teacher, and he's not. all he can do is see contradiction. And all he's going to do is create confusion with you that's listening to him. All right. So we're going to play some of his argument, right? We're going to play some of his argument. It's about 20 minutes of him yapping away. But I want to play the argument. We got to know, we got to size up the wall. You got to know the deception of the devil. You got to know what instruments and tools and words and mind twists he's using. And I say again that Malaki, Yaki inside of Malaki, right, are twisting and perverting Yah's word. They are lying by omission. Omission. Yah said, let the word interpret the word, line upon line upon line upon line. And that word line means Torah. It means the whole paragraph, not just a verse or two. Precept upon precept upon precept upon precept. That means you read everything concerning the matter. Here a little and there a little. But what you see him doing is taking you all over the place and dragging you back and forth, up and down, all around. Here a little and there a little. And he ends up with what? How? Tell me. But I'm telling you, Malaki, right? I'm telling you what thus says Yah. Because you can't read. You are blind by your own sorcery. Okay? So we're going to get some understanding. I'm going to pause this, Israel, and I'm going to let this play so we can understand the missiles, right? The Scud missiles that he's throwing over here. But we're going to create a reciprocating time bomb. We're going to grab those missiles. We're going to put fire in them. That's the Holy Spirit in the word of truth. We're going to put real fire in them empty darts that he's throwing and throw it right back at him until he burns. All right. So let's play this.
That's good.
He that killeth an ox is as if he slew a man.
You killing an ox as if you slew a man, y'all. So this right here shows that the killing of animals is murder. Killing a man is murder. I mean, unless your life was in danger, or if the animal was putting your life in danger, then yeah, you have the right. Your children, family, I have to put you down. It did, but that ain't what this is talking about. It's talking about sacrificing. It's Isaiah again. He that killed ox is the same as if he killed a man, slew a man. What else to say? Huh?
He that sacrificeth a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck.
Wow. Wow. Now we got lamb sacrifices, don't we? In the Levitical law, in Egypt, don't we got that? Well, he's saying it's the same as cutting off a dog's neck. Go ahead.
He that offers an oblation as if he offered swine's blood. He that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abominations.
I call it an abomination through Isaiah. You killing an ox is the same as you killing a man. Murder. The one brother, well, what does it say? I only supposed to eat Genesis 1:29 and the 10 Commandments. I say the 10 Commandments say thou shalt not kill, which is murder. Shedding of innocent blood. Oh, I know. That's the thing. We so desensitized. You don't even look at the rest of the Most High's creation. You feel me? As living souls. Getting to Genesis 1, it tells you that the animals are living creatures. Getting to Genesis 2, the Most High breathed in the man nostrils the breath of life. He became a living soul. When you look at a living creature and living soul in Hebrew, the phrase is nefesh for soul, kaya for living, for life. Yeah, exactly. Trip off this. So basically, when you read it in the Hebrew, the animal and men who have dominion of the animals are both considered living souls. I'm gonna read this verse 4 and then we're gonna read it. Right? Verse 4, what does it say?
I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not.
Look at that. You calling it evil? He said, I'm gonna choose your delusions. Look, all this because, especially today, we got a lust. Or we think this thing is about our taste buds. It ain't. This thing is not about your taste buds at all. Right? He's saying right there that it's murder. He that verse 3, he that killed an ox is as if he slew a man. He that sacrifices a lamb is as he cut off a dog's neck.
So killing is killing.
Killing is killing. Shedding of innocent blood. And I asked a few brothers that months ago before we came all the way out, because I was already studying. I was like, thou shalt not murder. We got to thou shalt not kill. They was like, right. Like, does that apply to the animals? One brother hesitated, the other two was like, no, I would say it don't apply because we got laws about sacrificing.
You got it.
Okay. But them laws of sacrificing you ain't doing, right? So are you participating in the slaughter or the murder of innocent animals just because you want to eat? You are. You are. It'd be no different than if somebody wanted to fillet your back and eat your shoulders. But hold on. Where is that in the law? Is it a sin to eat man's flesh and be a cannibal? Is that in the law anywhere?
I don't see it, bro.
It ain't written nowhere, is it? But how many of y'all gonna come on here and tell me cannibalism ain't a sin? You gonna sit up here and tell me it's not because you can't find it written nowhere?
If you know to do good and you don't do it, at that moment it becomes sin to you. It ain't just based off what you're reading in the Bible. Drinking bleach ain't written down as a sin either. You gonna drink that? No, you know better, don't you? Sin ain't just because man can manipulate what's written down. Messiah magnified his law. That's why he said if you're looking on a woman and lusting after you already committed adultery with her. Man can manipulate the physical act. I know I never touched her, but it wasn't on your mind though, Jack. Once you receive the knowledge of doing right and you go against that knowledge that the Most High gave you, that becomes sin for you. Man, he did sin? Is that what you're saying? Look, if the Most High hollered at you and told you you need to stop eating that, and you're going against that, at that moment it is sin to you. But only you know that. Only you know the Most High been telling you stop drinking, stop smoking, stop eating. It's flesh. Stop doing this because it's wrong. Stop fornicating. You know what I'm saying? The Most High deal with you all the time, right here. We block his word all the time and try to find a technicality out by flipping to a scripture. I don't see eating on the shoulder blades of Kaya is a sin, so we have some Kaya shoulder blades tonight. But we all know the voice of the Most High telling us, well, y'all, that's sinful to eat on the flesh of a man or a woman. That's sinful. Yes, that's sinful. And I ain't got to see it written nowhere to prove it. Because inside of me, I know it's sinful. No, I'm not going to eat on no flesh of no man or no woman. Absolutely not. Why not? Get too hungry, you may want to chew on your newborn. I ain't written nowhere. Ain't no sin. These them niggas that think they're going to be able to get off on judgment day on a technicality with the Most High. What I read in the Bible was just a witness of what I already was feeling. I knew eating on that was wrong. I knew dealing with that man woman was wrong. Even before I read it in the Bible. I knew stealing was wrong before I read it in the Bible. You don't need a notebook to tell you right from wrong. You know morally what you're supposed to be doing. See, men don't want Israel back on that, listening to the voice of the Most High. Men want you up under their rulership. Men want you up under their tutelage, come to their school, learn from me for the next 30 years, pay me this money. That's what they want. They don't want you like, look, I'm not here. I'm here to challenge you to be better and to be free. You're not here to be bound to Malaki about nothing. Because the totality of the new covenant is that no man should teach you. But the Most High command of you is already here. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know what's wrong. And you know what's right. You know what you're doing is wrong on your way to do wrong. Now, I know I ain't supposed to be doing that. It's wrong. The Most High telling you. We got to get back to listening to his voice. Right?
So he that kill an ox as if he slew a man. He that sacrifices a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. Verse 4 said, I will also choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. right? Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes, and chose that in which I delighted not. Let's go back to Leviticus.
Could we do verse 5?
Yeah, okay, bro. You keep reading. Go ahead.
It says, hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word, your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
And they shall be what?
They shall be ashamed.
Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said the Most High, said, let the Most High be glorified. He shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. Anybody coming against us, you be all right.
Yep. Ecclesiastes 3.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 3 is next, y'all. Verse 19 or 18, right?
We do 18 and 19.
Okay,
right?
Ecclesiastes 3. Let's get 18 and 19.
Yep. Verse 18. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
Hold on. What? What? Rod, you gotta read that again. You read that so eloquent, brother.
I ain't never read that.
Verse 18. I said in my heart concerning the estates of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
That they themselves are beasts. But you be up here, boy, it'd be a problem if these cops that kill us was barbecuing us after they killed us. Huh? You just said men are beasts. 19, go ahead, Doc.
For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts.
Oh, wow.
Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yeah, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence above a beast.
Man have no preeminence over a beast. And that's wild, because we actually have authority over the Most High's creation, right? But trip off what he's saying right here, that you ain't got no preeminence over no beast. We all breathe and partake of the same breath of life.
That's right.
They themselves are beasts. The proof is that the animals are living creatures or living souls, just like you are. Let's go to Genesis 1.
That's it.
Genesis 1. Genesis 1:24. Let's go there first. I want to go to interlinear. 1:24. Yo, wait. I got it. I got him, right. Genesis 1:24. What does it say?
And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind.
Now, what kind of creature?
The living creature after his kind.
Go ahead.
Cattle and creeping thing, and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
They're going to beast of that earth that he said you had no preeminence over. So what does that mean? If Adam was given authority over, why would Solomon say man has no preeminence? Watch this. The mystery to that is in the actual Hebrew. All right. Interlinear. If y'all know how to read, that's the Hebrew script. We can read it. All right. All right. Down. We get down into the table below that displays the KJV text. Okay. God, you see Elohim, said, Wayamor. Earth is a Retz. All right. Bring forth Yatzah or Totze. All right. We got living. Living is Kaya. Or Kai, hi, same thing, Kaya, you know what I mean?
Strong's H2416, Chai.
All right, you see root word etymology down here? That says Kaya. All right, that's where it comes from. All right, Kai, all right, which means living. Hold on, let's see. Scroll back up so we ain't playing no games. Strong's right here. All right, adjective, feminine noun, masculine noun, root word, show Strong's info right here. All right, alive. All right, hence raw, flesh, fresh, plant, water, strong. At noun, especially in the feminine singular and masculine plural, would that say life or living thing?
Let's get it.
Life or living thing. So these creatures or these beasts of the earth that he said bring forth are called living creatures. All right. The word for living or life is kai or kaya. All right. Everybody understand that so far? All right. Now let's go back. Let's deal with creature. Let's deal with creature. Why don't man have preeminence over a beast? All right. Here goes creature. Oh, creature. Look at that word for creature. It's nefesh. Y'all, that's the same word for soul in Hebrew. Nefesh, some say napash. Nefesh, some say napash if they speaking without the vowels and all that. Napash. All right, nefesh. All right. Outline of biblical usage. Soul.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean to tell me these animals got souls?
Yes, indeed.
Self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion. And all you gotta do is watch the slaughter of some of these animals. You see they got emotions. You see they got emotions. You know why, y'all? Because they're living creatures or living souls.
Right.
All right. So if you understand so far that these living creatures, like Genesis 1:24, if you understand so far that these living creatures are called nefesh kaya or nefesh kai. If you understand that, give me a 9 up in the chat. 9 up in the chat. Genesis 1:24 again, Roddy Rod, read that for us.
Good. Verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and beasts of the earth after his kind.
Come on.
And it was so.
Okay, let's go over to Genesis 2. In Hebrew, living creature means living soul. Nefesh kaya.
Nefesh kaya.
All right, now let's go see if man is referred to nefesh kaya.
That's it.
Genesis, the 2nd chapter. And this is what Solomon was meaning when he was saying that man has no preeminence over a beast. Because you both have the breath of life in you, and you both are considered a living soul. Genesis 2:7. Roddy Rod, what did it say?
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul.
A living soul. Partake of the breath of life, living soul. Let's go down. Let's see. Let's see. Life. Oh, is that Kai again?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait.
Like it's to me.
We got a problem here, y'all. That's the same word.
That's Kai.
Kai, living. A soul with emotions, huh? Living, alive. Living alive. Oh, really? Okay. Living thing, animals. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see if soul. Maybe we just tripping. Let's go see about this soul, y'all.
Bring it up.
All right. Because once we understand this, then guess what? We understand how man doesn't have preeminence over beasts because they both partake of the breath of life of the Most High, and they both are considered living souls.
Yeah.
I mean, they both are alive and they both have emotions. All right. All right. Let's look up soul. A living. Oh, soul. What is that, Roddy Rod?
H5315.
Is that nefesh again?
Nefesh.
Oh, there it is. Napash or nefesh. The beast of the earth and man, who was given dominion over the beast of the earth and all the Most High's creation, are both considered living souls. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, indeed, you do.
All praise, glory, now to the Most High.
All
if you
praise.
understand that the beast of the earth that you are chewing on, and man, is considered a living soul, give us a 7 up in the chat. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, only a few more in Leviticus, y'all. We gonna get on. We can be up in here all day. Really. It's like beating a dead horse. Yeah, Keela, excellent point. Hold on, let me go ahead and stop this. Keela says something. And you know, again, oversimplification. You know what the Millie Mouth gonna say? He gonna say, we killing plants to eat them. Hey, but true about this. The very plants that you take off the vine or the fruits you take off the vine, they're actually still living when they go into your vessel, up until when they spoil or die or whatever. They actually got, I mean, the life is slipping about of them, but it brings life into your blood, into your vessel. Facts, all right? And another fact, the very fruit that you pick up off that tree is going to grow back. All right? The animal you kill and his body that falls on that ground will never grow back. So, Keela, yeah, I mean, they're not making any point when they say that. And again, that's oversimplification. All right? That's oversimplification. The very fruits that you pick off any vine or any tree, they grow back. If any of y'all got gardens, the crops that you pick, when the season come back again, they grow back. You see, a regeneration or resurrection. You can be taught by studying the Most High's creation, by planting fruit trees and planting gardens and actually feeding your family. That grows back. What doesn't grow back is a living soul that you kill. All right, the plants aren't living souls. All right, they were made for your table. All right, I hope that makes sense. All right, all praise and glory and all praise and glory and honor. So that's the difference, Keela. All right, the very plants and the very fruits that we partake of, they grow back. All right, the animals that these men are killing and chewing on, they don't grow back.
All right, Israel, we're back, y'all. I'm enjoying this inside, y'all. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? He said he beat the dead horse. Well, that sounds like Murder 2000, according to him. But no, y'all, we're going to slaughter him with his lies, because you shall not suffer a witch to live. Right? He's a false prophet, and they supposed to be stoned. All right, y'all. Israel. Yaki inside of Malaki is yapping away. A verse here, a verse here, a verse there, a verse there. And if you have no understanding, like these two babies, Yashar and Darius, they're babies in the word. They just been born, y'all. They're eager. And so that's his cheerleading crowd that think that they're getting taught something deep. And so y'all said, all that you get understanding. Right? All that you get, let's get some understanding. So he goes to, give me a second, right? He goes to Isaiah 66 and 4 and 5. Well, we're going to do Isaiah 66. We're going to do Isaiah 65 and 66. And we're going to read to get some understanding, right? Then he goes to Ecclesiastes 3 and 18. Man has no preeminence over beasts. We're all beasts. And he's going to presume to tell you that means we have no dominion over animals, no authority. This is ignorance. And then he's going to relate this to cannibalism, y'all. Oh my goodness, Malaki. You are so desperate. Oh, my Father, help this blind fool. And then he goes to Genesis 1 and 24 and Genesis 2 and 7 to show that animals are called Nefesh Kai. And Adam was called Nefesh Kai. Well, for those who are unlearned and wrestle with the word and need to sit down and be taught like a newborn baby, they would think that he's saying something that sounds legit. But that's why we have baby teachers and we have professors. So Malaki, it's your time to sit down You and your babies. And that's what happens when babies have babies, y'all. That's all. That's what we're talking about. That's babies having babies, right? It's time to sit down and learn from your mom. And so mama's going to teach you today. Okay, mama's going to teach you again today. And all those that want to continue to listen to me to get some knowledge, some wisdom, and all that you get, let's get some understanding, right? We're not going to yap away. We're going to let the word interpret the word. All right. So then he goes, what's his argument, right? At 2, anybody saw he stopped at the word chai, that means life, by itself, life. And at times, I'm going to cue it up, 238, 40, it said vegetables and greens too. But he says, yeah, well, when you pluck it up, it ain't all, it still got life in it until it what? Dries up, right? So where's the life in the veggies? It's in the what? Where's the life? It's in the water. When it's dried up, that's the life. So the water in the vegetables, it's its life source. That's its blood. It's not red like blood. That's its life source. And so in animals, it's red like blood. That's the life source of, you should pour that out like water. But the flesh, is it dried up? It still got water. This whole world is a container of water, and this whole world got life. It only until something is dried up and it has no more water in any type of molecular structure is it dead. He calls it dry bones. Dry bones. But once he puts the water of life on it, it can come back to life, right? So he talks about regeneration. He knows no idea of what he's talking about. All right. Animals never go back, right? After you kill an animal, it never grows back. And he compares that to eating carrots and apples and grapes. Well, the grape that you ate, once you eat it, does it grow back? No. What does it have to do? It left seed behind. It left a root behind to continue on and regenerate from itself, from its fruit. Well, when you eat a lamb, what did it have already? Seeds. It planted a seed and had babies. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You can't eat a carrot and make it grow back. The best you could do, Malaki, is poop the seeds out and put it back in the earth and put some water on it. And then that will grow a fruit from its seed, just like an animal. That is the stupidest thing I ever heard. But that's not even my argument. Y'all, let's get some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Like I said, they don't know anything about the kingdom because they don't know anything about the Genesis. They don't know the plan of salvation because they don't know anything about what was put forth from the foundations of this world. So let's get some understanding, Israel. Let's get some understanding. All right. So let's tear down this false argument. Before I tear it down, once again, I know I still left the question unanswered. So what does it mean that the lion is going to eat straw? The leaves of the healing of the nations. We're going to eat a tree with 12 manner of fruit. Nothing shall hurt anymore in my mountain, right? Why does Yah call something he called a sweet savior a stake to his nose? Why did he delight in the sacrifice? Why would he command us and that he delighted and would eat the sacrifices, but now he says he no longer takes delight in it? Why does Ezekiel and Revelations have a different marker or borderline for the kingdom? All I see is contradictions, right? What about the quail in the wilderness, right? How come he didn't let y'all eat the lambs? All of this crazy stuff. Well, Israel, I have yet to answer those questions, and I will. But there's so much to bring to build a solid foundation that cannot be torn down. Malaki will not be able to raise one tool on the foundation that I'm building right now to chip one stone away. because what I'm about to build and continue to build is a solid foundation. It is straight, it is level, and it's on the cornerstone of the principles of this universe and Yahushua who created it, right? But I will throw some things out there. You know, like I say, I didn't bring the book that I halfway tore up that has no spine, but we got some more foolishness to continue to rip the book away. But why did he make the temple with goat skins? Right? The temple itself. What? He put skins on the temple, y'all. But yet he put sacrifices and blood in the temple at the same time, right? Once again, of all our righteous forefathers sacrificed and ate meat from Adam to Messiah, then the whole book must be a lie. There's another testimony. John the Baptist, the greatest prophet, that Messiah, he ate locusts and honey. But no, they'll find another book that say he didn't eat locusts. It was a herb and bee vomit, right? He ate locusts. That's flesh, y'all. That's an animal. That's a living being. John the Baptist. So we can throw all of those testimonies away. Elijah made sacrifices, and he also eats meat. Throw that away. Abraham feeds 3 angels. One is presumed, depending on what you believe, that one is Yah or Yahushua that come in the flesh. And he fed them milk and cheese. An angel. Y'all, this don't make no sense. There's no testimony, y'all. There's no spine. There's no bones. They're dead bones talking and walking. Zombies. David. He reads David, Zechariah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Amos, Hosea, Malachi, and Hebrew. We're going to do all of that, but not today, y'all. We got to build a solid foundation before we go into all of those things where the prophets talk about sacrifices and get the answer from them. But you can't know the answer before you understand the problem. And so let's get some understanding. Let's tear this up. Let's spank this boy's behind. Somebody pull his pants down. I got a whip. Pull that boy's pants down and embarrass him and show him to be walking around naked. All right. I'm going to say it again. Y'all, this is not about food. This is about a false testimony. If they speak not according to the law, the prophets, or the testimony, there's no dawn on them. These are doctrines of demons, and he's speaking against the words of Yah. All right, let's go forward. Isaiah 66. I love this, y'all. This is going to be juicy. His behind going to be juicy, roasted on my altar. Isaiah 66, heaven is my throne. Let's start from 1. Thus says Yahweh, heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool for my feet. What kind of house will you build me? And what place shall be my rest? This is about the true temple, where he wants to sit and dwell, right? For all these things has my hand made. And so all these things come to be, says Yahweh. But to this man will I look, even to him who is poor and of a contrite spirit, and who trembles or fears at my word. That's the point right there, right? He's talking about what house can I rest in, which is the temple, which is the body. And he's going to look, he's going to accept, right? The man that is poor and of a contrite spirit. Poor spirit, contrite spirit, broken. A broken spirit, humbled. That's what Yah was trying to do to us in the wilderness. And who trembles or fears at my word. I told you it's the whole issue with the wise, because he had to humble us and put some fear in us. We refused to be humbled. We got arrogant and pride, and we refused to fear Yah. And so we were like, you get it, Moses. He who kills, the word is shochet. It's not the word for slaughter, right? As in sacrifice. Shochet, kills, right? He who shochet, kills an ox, is as he who kills a man. Now, when Yah says mekah, from like that, it is a parable. It is an idiom. It is an expression of something about what you're doing that feels like this to him. Now, kills a man. We know this is murder, right? We're going to go into the law. This is murder. But why is he saying when you kill an ox, right? This is opposite of someone coming with what? A poor and contrite spirit. And that fears his word. When someone commits murder, what's in their heart? Hatred against what? Their brother. So y'all say before you bring your altar, gift to the altar, go back, fix it with your brother. If you go to the altar and give a sacrifice and you got hatred in your heart, what's happening? What sacrifice have you just given? A sacrifice of murder, right? The animal is taking on whatever sin you call yourself placing on it, but when it's not sweet, Yah says, I will look to him that has a contrite spirit and poor spirit. That's what's sweet to Yah. But someone that comes and sacrifices to Yah with hatred in his heart is nasty to Yah. It doesn't taste good. All right? Okay, you think I'm just spitting this all. I'm going to let the word interpret the word, though. And he who sacrifices. Now, the word is zobek, zobeach. This is a sacrifice. A lamb. As he who breaks a dog's neck. Where do you see anything in the scripture about us ever breaking a neck? We don't break dogs' neck. What is broken in the Torah? We're going to read those, though. It's something he's trying to compare. What is broken in the Torah? A dog's neck. When you won't do what? Anybody know the law? Yeah, I didn't go over the sacrifices since a while. There's two things that their neck is broken, right? Understand what he's trying to say. There's two instances, and we're going to read it. When an animal's neck is broken, it's because of two reasons. Anybody? A donkey's neck is broken when what? When they don't want to give what? Their first fruit, which is the lamb. So he says, okay, if you won't redeem it, then break the donkey's neck. Why? Because the donkey still has worth, but it's worth nothing to me, but I'm going to take it from you since you won't give me the lamb. Right? Also, what else neck is going to be broken? What else gets broken? A heifer's neck that has never had a yoke or did any labor. That means that female heifer has never experienced hard labor or emotional slavery, right? It's never had a yoke around its neck. So it's not depressed, right? It's happy. Okay. But if there's murder in the land and nobody knows who did it, if you find a dead person in the field that is slain, obviously by a man, and no one knows who do it, the elders got to come and make an oath over the land, right? Because that blood is crying out that there's a manslayer and we don't know. So the land is going to curse everyone in it. And so blood got to be shed for blood. But he doesn't understand that, right? And so you're supposed to take the heifer to the valley closest to that land where water is running and break the heifer's neck. And they got to wash their hands in the blood and the water to say, my hands are innocent of the murder. And that Yah accepts an alternative sacrifice. They put innocence out there. They had to do an alternative sacrifice of innocence to show that there's no blood on their hands, but yet they have blood on their hands. He has no understanding about what he's reading because he doesn't know Torah, y'all. He who offers a grain offering. This ain't just about meat. This is about all the offerings. The mincha is that as he who offers pig's blood. All right, what are we talking about? Right? Defilement on the altar, unclean thing. But what? This is bread. What makes bread unclean, y'all? So it's as if it's pig's blood. Y'all said that you're going to eat Ezekiel doodle bread. Now, what does Ezekiel do to bread? You mad, you angry, you're depressed, you're astonished, anxiety, depression, you're crazy. And so you come to Yah with a lunatic mind, offering your grain offering. Except you don't come with the poor and contrite spirit. And he who burns, mizcher, burns or smokes frankincense. What? Frankincense too? What is this about? Meat? Is this about meat, y'all? Right. It's about the condition of your heart. And everything we're going to read, he's going to point out what is the issue with the sacrifices. Not the sacrifices themselves, but the sacrament that you place on the sacrifice. It's connected to you. Frankincense is that he who blesses his own iniquity. It says yours, it reads idle. It doesn't, the word is awen, which means iniquity or your vanity. So the iniquity of your heart, you're blessing yourself in this. Your frankincense are your prayers that go up for thank you. And you're thanking Yah for getting away with your iniquity. Yes, they have chosen their own ways. Now I'm going to let the Bible interpret the Bible, but the Spirit is speaking. And their soul delights in their abominations. That word is shikutsehem. Shikut is very particular to defiled meat. Two things. We had the lesson on clean and unclean. There's only two definitions of shikuts. There are other detestable things, but shikuts is very distinct to unclean meat. Unclean meat, right? And or worshiping a vessel, an empty vessel that stands as a statue or a corpse of a spirit, an idol. It's a certain type of an idol. What are we talking about today? I'm going to show you that what Isaiah is talking about is something we're doing now. Something that's happening right now with us, right? I also would choose their, it says delusions, but that's not the word. The word is their mischief, their child mischief. The word is te'oluleyehem, right? It comes from the word telulelim, right? Which means child's play, like little children, deceitful mischief type stuff. I'm going to choose their mischief. What's their mischief, y'all? Right? And I will bring their fears, but the word is not fears. It's megurata. It means their grains and their barns. It's really their storehouses of their treasures. Where's the treasures, y'all? In the heart, right? That's why saying fears, he's going to bring their treasures that they stored up in their heart on them. What is it that he's talking about? Because when I called, right, Yah said, come out of her, my people. Be not partakers in her sins, in her plagues. Touch not the unclean things. Choose and purify your vessels. From what? This is why, what is Israel running? What is the woman running from? The beast. The beast. Watch what this is all about, y'all. He has no understanding on what he's reading. On them. Because when I called, they did not answer. I told them to come out. And when I spoke, they did not hear. But they did that which was evil in my eyes and chose that in which I didn't delight. So what is it that Yah could be saying he didn't delight in? Meat? No, not at all. Let's keep reading, y'all. Let's get some understanding. Isaiah 66 and 15, Elohim's final judgment. Now, I skip all of that because he talks about the good for the contrite heart and the poor in spirit that he's going to do for them. The blessings that, so we're not going to talk about, he wants to talk about the evil against us. So let's go to what Yah's talking about. Let the word interpret the word. He talks about the good for the contrite. Now he's going to go to Elohim's final judgments against the world. This is final judgment, y'all. This is the last days. 15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire. Y'all, this is judgment day on Israel, the house of Israel. And his chariots would be like the whirlwind. We know what that is. To render his anger and his fierceness and his rebuke with flames of fire. Israel's going to 2 fires, y'all. For by fire, Yahweh will execute judgment. And by his sword, how are we fleeing since we didn't come out and choose? By fire, the fire that's coming down on Babylon, the wrath of Yah. And by sword. By war and by sword. And all flesh and the slain of Yahweh will be many. There's going to be many deaths because we didn't come out when he called. Those who what? Sanctify, set apart, or make holy themselves, and purify and clean themselves towards the gardens. What is y'all talking about here? Medicine, herbs, vaccines. That's what he's talking about. He's talking, where's the pure sacrifice? Right? Well, watch. This is them trying to purify themselves in their hearts and their vessels. We know the heart is not just the heart, it's all the entrails that the colon cleanses, the liver cleanses, the gallbladder, all of that. They're trying to cleanse that, cleanse the mind, cleanse this. They are trying to sanctify, set themselves apart, make themselves holy and purify and cleanse themselves to the gardens. What? What is y'all talking about? Behind one after another. What is he talking about? It was the old way to do it. There was something that y'all said, don't put on the altar. I asked for the blood. I asked for the meat. I asked for the frankincense. I asked for all of that. But I told you, do not set no trees up beside my altar. I told you, don't put no gardens and herbs by my altar. So they're trying to what? Purify themselves with the gardens. With Genesis 29, 1 and 29, they are cleansing themselves with this, thinking that they are purified. But yet in the midst, while they are purifying themselves one after another with all this cleansing, that's their sacrifice on the altar, they eat pig's flesh. Now, this Negro is going to presume to tell you our people are put down the swine. Our people put down the unclean meat and they're still dying. Is that true based upon the study that we just did in the last 6 months, y'all? Didn't we find out that the wines that y'all are drinking are filtered through pigs? Didn't we discover that the chips that y'all are eating has what? Baby cells and pig and DNA and beaver butt juice and all of this stuff? That's a rat, y'all. Didn't we find out that the sodas and the drinks and all of that black people eat is full of pork and abominations? Didn't we discover that all the soaps and the deodorants and everything that they put on the outside is full of pork? Didn't we discover, y'all, that even the shoes and the sneakers and the leather that they wear is 90% of it is pork and not the purses that they wear is pork? Didn't we discover that? The makeup that they wear is pollution. But yet they want to say our people put down the pork, we don't eat it. So why are we dying? They put pork in everything. I can show you a study with even the vegetarian food. Anything ground up got mice in it when they doing it in those big factories. All the vegetarian patties got rat in it and baby DNA, baby cells, and human DNA. This is not just about the meat. Who knows that black people don't know how to eat? We got the worst system of eating out of all the people in this world. And it's not about meat. We have a low diet. We over there eating the Twinkies and the Ho-Hos and everything. All of that stuff, all the candies that we eat. Y'all think that sugar that's making it shiny? What is that the shiny stuff made out? Lice. No, it's pork and it's lice juice. Abominations. The candy. Everything that y'all are eating in America is defiled. So he said, come out, because they are polluting you on purpose. And you don't know it. Yes, they're eating pig's flesh and they don't even know it. What's in the vaccines? Most of y'all Hebrews have been taking the vaccines for a long time until now. You got abominations. We know that they put baby cells in there. We know that they put pork in there and rat. And then they take it through the chicken. And why? Because they're trying to what? Transform it in a way that the DNA and the RNA becomes closer and closer to intertwine with human DNA. And the abomination, shikutz. Shikutz is unclean meat. And the mouse. What? Black people eating mouse? Yes, they are. They have no idea. They go and get the chicken wings and the Thai food and all of that. It is rats. Yes. They think it's chicken. It's rats. Haven't they proved it? Yes. Or it's dog meat. That's right. They proved it. Or that it's rabbit. Abomination. But they don't know it. They think they're eating clean food. So he says, why is our people dying when they put down the pork? They put that. No, they didn't. For the lack of knowledge, my people perish. They shall come to an end together, says Yahweh, right? All right, let's go back and let Yah interpret the word of what he's talking about. Before we get to 66, let's read 65. What is it that our people are doing that he says they do in their own ways and not with the lights of me? Judgments and promises. Verse 1. I am inquired of by those who didn't ask. I am found by those who didn't seek me. I said, see me to a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all day to a rebellious people who walk in a way that is not good after their own thoughts. What way is this? A people who provoke me to my face continuously, sacrificing in gardens. That's the issue, y'all. They putting herbs on the altar and calling it cleansing and setting themselves holy and apart. Isn't that what Malaki and Yaki is teaching right now? That is not the Genesis 1:29 diet. There is no food that can make you holy. Nor did Genesis 1:29 declare this is food for you to be holy. He had one commandment, to be holy and set apart. What was that? Don't eat that tree. I gave you all of this. Don't eat that tree. Are we talking about food? He thinks we are. Let's see. They provoke me to my face continuously. He's telling them what they are doing with their offerings. And this is a prophecy about the last day, right? This is about his last wrath when he called us out, but we didn't listen because he said, y'all gonna be defiled if you don't come out. You're gonna get her plagues, her fire and her judgment, because everything in it is unclean. The water, the food, everything, the air, the nanotechnology, all what they're doing with the vaccine. You don't know what they're putting in anything. And smoke offerings. What does this sound like, y'all? And smoke offerings on their bricks, right? Here we go. Here's the word right here. Zibechim beganot, right? They're sacrificing in gardens. Yah said, don't do that. Don't put no altar in no garden or buy no tree, and don't plant no tree or no garden by my altar. And they put smoke, they offer up smoke, right? This is they offer up smoke. This is not the word for burnt offering, right? On bricks. What's the bricks? They high. Malaki has been offering, Yaki has been offering sacrifices on the altar by the gardens. And Malaki has been offering up smoke on his mind and his heart by his own admission. Right? The word is brick, but he said, who's going to put their brick? Their heart. The brick is the heart. And they high. We talked about it in Deuteronomy. Lest there be a root of gall, right? And they say in their heart, no harm shall come upon me when I hear all these words. That word brick, halev, halevanim, right? It means white, alevan, right? Also means white. But why does it mean white? Because it's talking about tiles, right? Plaster and tiles. But you're supposed to have plastered up. He talks about putting plaster on the bricks of the temple, but who's going to breach the walls of the heart? Who's going to put the bricks on my temple and build my temple, which is the heart? Halev. What else do they do? This Negro was just talking about death. Who keep watch, observe among the graves. What is he talking about? Funerals and memorials to dead people on a yearly basis. The keeping watch is every year that you remember the dead one on that date that they died, and you have a memorial to them. And you sit together and eat. And while you eat, I don't care if you're eating herbs, you think about the dead. And this is necromancy. And lodge all night, hang out all night. Who eats pig's flesh? That's right. And broth of abominable things in there. What's the broth? It means a stew mixed up. What's the stew, y'all? The vaccines. The vaccines. But they think they clean. And they will. Even those that think that they against the vaccine, y'all say, come out, right? Or else. Watch, they're going to be forced to take it. They're going to be forced or they're going to be killed by the sword. And if they take it, they're going down with the fire. All right. Now let's get some word. Yah just told you what the issue was. But because this fool had no understanding in his Torah in the first place, he can't see it. All he sees is contradictions and controversy. But he don't see the fluid unity in Yah's word. Forbidden forms of worship. You shall not plant for yourselves a Asherah. It means a grove of any kind of tree beside the altar. He's telling you there's no fruit on this earth that is holy. No fruit. No tree on this earth. I said that tree in the Garden of Eden, Genesis 1:29, is not on this earth. Everything was subject to the curse, even the herbs, even the vegetables. You shall not plant any kind of tree besides the altar. For Yahweh your Elohim, which you shall make for yourselves. Neither shall you set yourselves up a pillar. Well, what is it when they go to graveyards? Or what is it when they set on their heights, on the tops of their, what do you call it there? Their mountains, and they have all their dead loved ones up there. Memorabilia. That's a pillar, y'all. Dead ones all over the house. Every time you walk in the house that's supposed to be holy, you looking up at the picture to the dead one. That's a pillar, which Yahweh your Elohim hates. That's what he just said in Isaiah, didn't he? This is the law that he's invoking that y'all do. that y'all do. We say we holy, we can continue to go to funerals, another funeral, and another funeral, and we have another memorial. Another memorial and another memorial. And you sit up there and eat food that you think is healthy. This Negro gonna tell you, so what? We eat GMO fruits, it's still healing us. What's in the GMO fruits, y'all? What makes the fruits and vegetables? I got herbalists right here that came out of this foolish doctrine. What's in the GMO fruits? My ex-herbalists and dietitians and vegans and vegetarians. What's in those GMOs that they put in the fruits that eat? Abominable animals and fetal cells. But yet, he's purifying in the gardens. There's blood all over the land by these trees, right? Do you know that if you put blood by a tree, that tree will soak up the blood and use it for the life source? You eat the tree from an abominable murder or an abominable sacrifice. You just GMO'd your trees and your fruits. There's blood all over that land for our people. But they eating the trees and the groves. What are they talking about? This fool has no understanding. No understanding. That's a way to eat the blood indirectly. Just like the animals eat the grass, and we can eat the grass indirectly by what they eat. The trees eat too. They smell life. All right. I'm speaking. I'm yapping away. Oh no. Come on, let's get it. Proverbs 4 and 7. Wisdom is the beginning principle. Bereshit, in the beginning, in principle, Yah created. In principle, he doesn't understand the principles of this world or creation. In the beginning, in principle, it was wisdom. Therefore, buy wisdom, and with all your buying, by your understanding, this fool has no understanding at all. He's a thief, y'all. He's a thief. Reshit, chachma, keneh, in the principle, in the beginning, hakma, wisdom, by hakma, by wisdom. Webekol chineyach nekka, with all your buying, kineh bina, understanding. All right, let's get understanding. This dude is he say he's not a false scribe, but he's going to reinscribe his own definition of murder. Of murder. You shall not murder. Lo tirtzach. Lo tirtzach. Let the Bible interpret the Bible. You shall not murder. There's only one definition in the Torah that describes what is tirtzach. All right, let's get some understanding. We're not going to do the English. So now he goes to Ecclesiastes 3. Ooh, he about to get eat up, y'all. Ooh, y'all know I did this already. I did Isaiah 65 and 66. I did Ecclesiastes 3. What is it saying, y'all? Let's start from 18. I said in my heart concerning the manner or the cause of the sons of men, Ben Adam, for Elohim to select, purify, choose. Right? That's what y'all say. Come out of her. Touch not the unclean. Purify your temples, but not with gardens, not with pork, not with rat, with clean food, not with abominations and hatred in your heart against your brother. Not while you're going to funerals. You can't eat y'all sacrifice while you're going to funerals and worshiping the dead all the time. This is necromancy. He said, you shall not offer my sacrifice to the dead. And to see that they themselves are like beasts. Behema, beast. They're beasts. Didn't I say we felt like beasts? Right? We felt like beasts. But he's saying if you choose, purify, select, when Elohim does this, right, you're going to see the difference between what makes us beasts and what makes us sons of Elohim. Because whatever happens to the sons of men happens to beasts and animals. One thing happens to them. As one dies, the other dies, so does the other. Indeed, they all have one breath, spirit. What word is it using here? Somebody can read that? I know it's small. Ruach. They all have one Ruach, spirit. All right, we're going to break down some understanding between Nefesh Kai, Ruach, and Neshama. There's a difference, but this fool has no understanding. Man has no advantage, abundance, preeminence from beasts or animals. He's saying we all gonna die. He said, I did not intend for you, O Adam, to die. I intended for you to live forever. But now you will die like beasts. That's our fate. For all is futile, vanity, vapor, idle, empty. All are going, but he didn't want to read the rest. Look at the difference. Let me ask y'all something. Is there animal heaven? No. Is there animal hell? Is there animal heaven? Is there animal hell? I didn't say Gehenna. Is there animal hell? Yes. And that's where everybody goes when they what? Die. But Yah's trying to show you something different. Yes, we're going to all die. That Ruach, the spirit that we all have, doesn't die, y'all. Let's see what he's saying. He wouldn't read the rest. All are going to one place. What's that? To the dust. That's hell. We go to the ground from where we would take it. Animals was from the ground. Guess what else goes to the ground? Vegetables. Right? And man in the lower nature. And they all got a ruach. What? Everything that has a ruach is going back to the earth where it came from. From the dust, they all return to the dust, which is hell. Dry earth. Dry. Think about this. Who knows the spirit? He's using the word ruach of the sons of men. Who knows what's the real spirit of the sons of men? The ascension of it is where? Upwards. Where does our spirit go? Back to Yah. And the spirit, the ruach of beasts, go where? To the descension, it goes down beneath the earth. What is he saying? So we all died, but we are not the same spirit. There's a spirit that came from Yah, direct, and that is man. But there is a spirit that came up from the earth and watered the earth and gave life to everything from the earth. But Adam got his ruach, his nefesh chai, his neshamat chayim direct from Yah. That's what it's saying. So I saw that man could do no better but rejoice in his own works in the physical world. Just rejoice in the good works that you've done, because we all die. For that is his portion. For who would bring him to see what shall be after him? And he's talking all of these works. He's saying it's vanity. They don't even understand what they're living for. because he doesn't understand what I got for him after. But that's not a promise to beast. This is a lie, y'all. There's no animal kingdom heaven. Jumanji. No, y'all. That spirit recycles from the earth and comes back over and over. That's different. That's where Buddha, Huda, Hindu got it from. We're coming back because they can recycle their spirit. Right? Yes, they can. Through their fruits. Regeneration of their spirit from the ground back, from the ground back, from the ground back. That's what he said. But no, our spirit goes back to Yah. Our spirit goes back to Yah. We don't do reincarnation, but he can incarnate. There's a difference. So they want to talk about Buddha regeneration stuff, all of that coming back as animals and flowers and lotuses and butterflies and elephants. No, I ain't no damn animal. The spirit of Yah came from above, and that's where it's going to return. The flesh remains where it came from. It's just dirt, y'all, with water in it. That's it. Am I speaking my own yap, yap, yap? All right. All right, let's get some understanding. Let's go back to the principle, the wisdom. Bereshit, in the beginning. In the beginning. Is creation finished? Is creation finished, y'all? Is Bereshit over? Did we ever even finish the 6th day to make it to the 7th? Not yet. What is he talking about? He thinks that the Genesis 1 diet was the perfect diet, but yet we didn't finish it all out to get to the 7th day, right? So how do you know that after he created animals, then he created us? He was said, "There, I made food for you to eat." But yet we see in Genesis, when he made a new heaven and a new earth after Noah, he said, "Eat the animals just like the herbs." Just as. That means that was a good thing. I gave you food. That was good for you to eat. Now I give you the beast. That's food. Good for you to eat. Just like the herbs. Now I have given you all things. What? So you mean that was the final submission? When he allowed us to eat them? That was him giving us all things? Huh. All right. So he goes to Genesis 1. Let's get some understanding, Israel. Let's get some understanding. The 6 days, the 6th-day creation. 24. Elohim said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures after their kind, livestock, creeping things, and animals of the earth after their kinds." And it was so. Elohim made the animals of the earth after their kind, and the livestock after their kind, and everything that creeps on the ground after its kind. Elohim saw that it was good. 26. Elohim said, "Let us make." Make is the word asa, not form, not create. Let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. Elohim created. Now he created. He made something, and then he created man in his own image. That's 3 different things, y'all. Then he created man in his own image. In Elohim's image created he him, male and female. She was always there at the beginning of creation, but they were made separately. She was always there inside Adam is humankind, male and female. Elohim's image created he, him, male and female. Was he a hermaphrodite? No, because they wasn't in physical form, nor was he. He was Elohim, no sex, male and female, not a hermaphrodite. And Yah is not a male and female. He has feminine and masculine qualities, but he's not male and female. Created he, him, male and female. The creation of mankind, male and female, was at the same time. We were created at the same time. Hawa was made after him. Created them. All right. Let's keep moving. What you doing? Genesis 9 and 6. Let me make sure I'm not skipping nothing. Okay. Genesis 9 and 6. What is murder? Whoever sheds, pours out, shofech. I want y'all to look at the word here. Whoever sheds, pours out. The word is shofech. Dam. Dalet mem sofi. Dam. Blood ha-adam. Of the blood man. No, y'all. The blood of Adam was not the same as the blood of animals. Whoever pours out or sheds the blood, dam, with dam, ha, Adam, dam, by man, be Adam, damo, his blood, damo, yishafech, shall be shed, ki, because, Betzelem, image, Elohim made et ha-adam. Right? So when he made us, it was from the earth, and that was blood. But that blood is not the same as animal blood. Why? Why is it not the same? All right, let's get some understanding what differentiates our blood and their blood. All right. I'm sorry, before I go, you shall not murder, right? That's what he wants to say. Let's go. I'm sorry. So I'm going to refer to my lecture, The Mystery of Gan Eden. Okay, give me 1 second. Stop share. All right, here we are. I think my thing is in the way. I'm gonna push it over to the side. Hopefully they can see it. We're in Genesis 2 and 7, where Yitzhak and Yahweh Elohim. Why we see Elohim first, and now we see and Yahweh Elohim. Oh, this is different. Yitzhak from the word Yatzah, to form and to fashion, formed man of the dust. So we were made from the dust. He put his water, his ruach into us and made blood man. But he formed us from the dust, from the ground, from the dry dust, apar, min ha'adama, ve'yifach, and Yah breathed, and he will breathe, the F.O.P.E, in the nostrils, nishamat chayim. That's also what went into our blood and our DNA. Direct from Yahweh Elohim. That didn't happen to anything on this earth. He blew his breath of life in us. Nishamat Chaim. And man became now Lenefesh Chaim, a living soul. So yes, creatures are living souls, and we are living souls. But we are living souls that had a body, but had the spirit of Yah direct, and the life force, his image and his likeness direct. Beasts don't have that. Talking about murder is the same. You out of your mind. That is animal worship. That you put the animals above the man. And planted Yahweh Elohim a garden in Eden. Now, that's a mystery. We're not going to talk about that right now. I'm not giving it all away, right? And there he put the man whom he had formed. All right. Not going to go into the mystery of 2 and 8. This ain't the whole mystery today, but we're just going to get some understanding. The principles. All that you get some understanding. You still got babies teaching y'all. All right. We're in Genesis 1, 26 and 7. Now, I'm not going to go through all of this. As I said, there's a difference when y'all spoke something, it went out. Yatsir, he formed, he shaped. Bara, created, to choose. And Asa, to make different things. 26, and Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish. I said all of this, right? I read that already. Moving on. So the word for our likeness is damot. This is probably what I want y'all to see. Damot. Let's see. Let me go back. I'm going back too far. No, I don't want y'all to see all of that. No, not yet. I thought I had it in Hebrew. Never mind. Damot. Damot is our likeness. In our likeness, like us, in our image. Selem. 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 So he said, let us make man, and he created man in his image. Damot, Selem. So there was something that he made and created us in that was in the blood. Dam. The word for Selem means image, picture, form, likeness, or phantom, like as in spirit. A similitude, a replication of what he is in the spirit on manifestation on earth. And that's why Yehoshua was the second Adam. Our likeness, damot, dam, from blood, similitude, likeness, pattern, and character. That's what he put in us, y'all. Animals don't have that. And that is Hakma, Bina, wisdom, understanding, intelligence, knowledge, da'at. This is the tree of life, y'all. Beauty, teferet, glory, hod, majesty. Animals don't have that, y'all. He created us according to the garden and the trees in it, not the animals. All right, Selem, image equals blood. Our blood is not like the animals. When you kill man, it's like killing Yah. Whosoever sheds the blood of man, by man his blood will be shed. For in image Elohim made the man, not the beast and not the animals. And that's a lie. And that's why what he's teaching is demonic. Adam's spirit goes up, beast spirit go down. And if we want to continue to live like beasts in their beast nature, in their lower nature, then we're going down with them. All right, let's get some understanding. Dam, blood. The word for blood is dam, as in Adam, damam, compared to Adam. Blood as in that which when shed causes death of man and or animal. So to shed blood causes death. By analogy, the juice of the grape, figuratively, especially in the plural. Blood shed, i.e. drops of blood, guiltiness, thirsty, or innocent blood. There's guilty blood, there's thirsty blood, and is innocent blood. Adamah, ground, land, from Adam, which means man or soil, from its general redness, country, earth, ground, husbandman or land. Adon, to be red. Damot, likeness, pattern, similitude from Dama, to be like or resemble Elohim. Animals don't resemble Elohim, y'all. Our blood is not the same. Neshamat. So we want to go through this. Where Yifak, right? Afaf, Nishmat Chaim, the breath of life. That breath of life is what formed man and made him into a lenefesh chaim, a living soul. Okay, let's go back. So I'm not going through the whole Genesis story, but we know in Genesis 1, and Yah said, and the waters hoovered, his spirit hoovered over the face of the waters. What's life? It's in the waters. A vegetable has no more chaim when it loses its what? Waters, is ruach. Right? So the whole creation, when Yah hoovered in Genesis 1 and 1 or 2, when he hoovered, his spirit hoovered over the face of the deep, the waters. Everything came out the waters. We read that. Now they willingly forget that the earth came up out of the waters, but they forget that there's fire reserved for them. The earth came out of the waters, right? And those waters was the life of Yah's spirit that he put on the whole creation. Everything has life, a ruach. And what does ruach mean? Spirit, air, wind, breeze, breath, soul, mind, a place in the sky, emotions. When Yah describes emotions in the Bible, what word does it use? Nefesh or ruach? Ruach this, ruach that, ruach this, ruach arot. Those are emotions. What? All creation has emotions, even your vegetables. Even your vegetables. What they don't do is walk and talk. They can't communicate with you, so there's no point of you going and touching a tree and talking to it. There's no sense of you going and putting your sacrifice down and confessing to the trees. Or confessing your sins on the herbs. Saying, herbs, I have sinned. I ate meat. Can you heal me? I'm going to sacrifice your fruit and I'm going to drink you and put the living waters in and you're going to heal me, oh tree. But yes, everything has a ruach. Even the rocks. That he said, if you don't praise me, I'll make the rocks rise up and praise me because they have a ruach. Why does Yah said don't put an axe to the stone when you build the altar? Because it has water in it in a molecular structure that you don't understand. As soon as you crack it, you take the life force out of the rock. The whole creation. How do we know this, y'all? Oh, I'm just speaking, right? Oh, Malaki, little Teletubby. If you had not have put your stuff all up in him and open wide your behind to this man's mouth, spewing out foolishness, and sat down at my table, you might have learned something. But you're nothing but an animal. So you cannot think with Yah's neshamat chaim. You're nothing but a nefesh chaim, according to you. Right? Let's see. Nefesh chaim, soul, spirit, living being. So yes, all creation, animals, vegetables, rocks, fruits, everything has ruach. But nefesh chaim is the spirit and soul of living beings. Animals from the waters, animals from the earth, from the waters, and Adam and Eve from the earth, from the waters. They all have nefesh chaim, a living soul or spirit. It's three different spirits here. Now we got Nishamat Chaim, what Yahweh Elohim breathed in Adam alone. No animal and no vegetable. So when you understand this concept, you will understand why no animal really can atone for your blood. But it can cover the sin temporarily. They don't understand that concept. Because they really, as he breaks down the RNA and the DNA and he really don't understand why y'all chose certain animals and why certain animals, whether they were clean or not, didn't go to the altar. He don't understand anything about the DNA of a lamb and of a goat and of a sheep or animal. That even though it's not exactly, sorry, hold on here. Even though y'all put something else in our blood that made us different than them, in beast nature, there's something in their blood called nefesh that is the same. And that, when we sin, is it in our spirit form? When we sin, is it in our nishamat chaim? No, it's in the nefesh chaim. It's in the animal nature of our blood. And that's the mystery, right? I'm not even going, y'all know what it is, right? I showed you that we got what? We got 2 Taurus in our blood. We got 2 informational codes in our blood. And we're living by one and the other one we're not. And that's what? The tree of life. We're not living by that. We're living by what? Right. We're living by Nefesh Chaim right now. But that tree of life is still in the middle of our garden. It's just closed. We're locked out, but it's there. That's why you still can't destroy it. Why does the earth moan and groan? Why does it have an earthquake when the righteous prophets are stoned and killed? Why does y'all wrath come like hot wind and fire when you kill his righteous ones? Why is the earth going to open up his mouth for the righteous ones? What? What are you talking about? Okay. Y'all get that? So everything has a ruach. And that's what he read. That's what, when it dies, everything goes, the flesh goes back to the earth. Adam and animal. But the ruach of man goes up and the ruach of beast go down. Everything has a ruach. But not everything has a nefesh kai. The vegetables don't have no nefesh kai. That's why they can't atone, meaning be a replacement for us on no altar at all. They don't bear the sin because they don't have the same blood. They just have the water from Yah, which is the spirit, right? And then man has nishamat chaim, the breath breathed directly from Yah, which was his image. So let's get some understanding. What's murder? Nishamat chaim, breath of life. Job 34:14-15. If he, Yah, put his heart, his spirit, the ruach, right? See why he got to add both? His ruach and his nishamat tov. His nishamat tov. So we got, if Yah puts, meaning takes away, his spirit and his nishamat that he gave to man. The spirit, the spirit and the nishamat, alive, Ya'asuf, right, shall perish or come to an end, to remove, Ya'asuf is come, sof, to come to an end. Yagi'ah, kol basar. All flesh will perish together. And Adam, al-apar, yashuv, and man shall return again to dust. So we can see that he has to add ruach and neshamat, all flesh. If he takes his ruach away, even the animals and the even the vegetables, But let's just give it to, he said, all flesh, all kol basar will perish together. And Adam, if he takes his neshamat, will return to the earth. That's what he put in Adam. That's what made us in the image. That's not the image of man. That's what has to be taken in order to kill and murder man. All right, let's get some understanding. Proverbs 20 and 27. Nishamat Chaim, the breath direct from Yah that he put in Adam, and not animals and not fruits and vegetables. The breath near Yahweh, which is a light. What was the breath that he breathed? We had the waters, we had the ruach from the waters, but the Holy Spirit is like what, y'all? Like a fire. Shut up in my bones. Where does blood be created from? In the bones. It's like fire. But animals don't have that, y'all. They don't have Holy Spirit. Nishamat Adam, the candle, the fire, the light of Yahweh is the Nishamat Adam, is the soul of man, the breath of man. And when you shed man, that's what you're shedding, the light of Yah. Searching all the chambers. Adam, Kofesh, Kol Hadre, Betin, all the chambers of the Betin. So when he talks about Betin, is he just talking about your gut, your colon? These they have reduced it all down to the gut, which is the last phase of your chambers. The belly is everything inside here. All your entrails. They don't understand this. The Holy Spirit, y'all, is what's searching out the heart of men and not the herbs. Where's the sin? The herbs, you're not going to drink the herbs. It's like, where's the sin? Let me cover the sin. Ain't no herbs going to cover the sin, y'all. You can cleanse your temple all you want. You're going to die. And when y'all's judgment comes up, the spirit of sin that was on you is going to say, I still was there. Picky boo. You didn't cleanse me away. All right. Hallelujah. All right. We get some understanding. Job 32 and 8. But there is a spirit in man. Ruach. Achen ruach hu be'enush. In man. Where? Nishamat. Sadeh tivunim. Sadeh, right? Or Shaddai is the nourisher, the provider. They say almighty, but no, right? The Sadeh means field. Everything that springs forth for man. It's understanding. What? We talking about the tree of life here. We talking about fruits? Oh, snap. Everything from the field, from Shaddai, is understanding. All right. Okay, let's see. We talking? Man, I don't want to give too much away before I give the lecture away. You know these fools going to steal it, right? Oh, snap. Nishamat Chaim, the breath of life. Napak means to blow, breathe, boil, as in breath, heated, to blow fire. He blew fire into Adam. This is not just water or hot water. This is fire. Nishamat, right? And I want to get to name. Ne'esh, esh means fire. The mem stands for water. At, wind, the vital breath, divine inspiration, soul and spirit. That's what man got. That's intelligence. That's knowledge, bina, understanding, hakma, wisdom, da'at. All of the what he called the trees in the garden that we were allowed to eat from. Neshama, ne'eshama means the breath or the blast of Yah, which is fire, y'all. Nasham, to pant or to grasp. So Yah said, I'm going to blow my hot breath like fire. Eshon, right? To blow away or to destroy. So Yah says, if I blow on them, that's right. We have what's the Asher, Ahaya, Asha, Ahaya people talking about the name of Yahweh means destroyer. Therefore, it's evil. Well, what kind of almighty power do you serve? He kills. He makes the life. The life belongs to him. He can give it. He can take it. That means he's the almighty destroyer as well. He's the fiery waters. And he destroyed the earth, his own creation, with water the first time. And he's going to destroy it with his fire this time. And he's going to renew it with his living waters. And he's going to renew it with his fire. Talking about Yah as the destroyer. He's wicked. Well, I don't want to serve nothing that don't have the almighty power to destroy. That's the one you better serve. That's the one you better fear. Not the sun, not the moon, not Shemashamishish, whatever these idols are. No, fear Yah. Because if the soul is from his fire, then what can destroy fire? His fire. He can destroy you by taking his fire or consuming you with his fire forever. All right. Don't fear who can hurt the flesh, the body. These Negroes is arguing over the flesh, not understanding the soul of the matter, which is the heart of the matter. Okay, I'm going to pass on from that. That's it. Wait, I don't want to give y'all no more. Go back. Y'all didn't see that. I'm going to cut it out. Let's go back. Let's go back to the lesson. All right. What is murder? So we just referred back to the Lexicon Edan. Whosoever sheds or pours out the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For in his image Elohim made the man. So the image of Elohim is in his mind and his blood and his entrails. All right. You shall not murder. Lo til zach. Hold on. Lo til zach. You shall not murder. We just established from the principle, from the beginning, that murder is man shedding man's blood, or anything that sheds man's blood. Man shedding man's blood, an animal shedding man's blood, but not man shedding animal. That is not murder. Ratzak, to murder, slay, assassinate. It's called manslaughter. And if you want to look it up in the English, which is not our definition, but it's just, if you want to just look that up, the crime of unlawfully killing a person, especially with malice of forethought, was convicted of murder. Definition of murder, we got 2 entries. Transition verb, but this is English, y'all. We're going to show what Torah says. To kill a human being unlawfully and with premeditated malice. That goes with Torah. To slaughter wantonly, slay. But that also means human. To put to an end, tease or torment. Why does it use the word tease or torment? Mutilate or mangle. Murders, that's French. To defeat badly, like murder as in I killed you in that game, right? Why does he use tease or torment? That's actually Torah. What's the other definition of murder? When you slander somebody with falsehood and you put a false report on their name out there, that's also murder. And that's teasing and tormenting somebody by word. And you kill their what? Their spirit, their character, their good character. The good character is what? The image of Yah, right? That's why it's murder if you slander someone's good character. If they doing good, they've done good, they've done righteousness, and you slander and say what they've done is evil or put evil on them that they have not done, you have just assassinated their character. And that person is what? Crying inside. What's the word for tears, y'all? Anybody know what the word for tears are in Hebrew? Somebody look it up real quick. I should have put it there. That's why the blood When you shed man's blood, it's crying out. But guess what is considered blood? When you slaughter somebody's character, they cry from within inside. And you cry. Those are your tears. Huh? Look up the word tear in Hebrew. Come on, anybody? I should have brought my dictionary. Huh? Can't hear you. Dima. What's the root of the word? Dam. Dima. I don't know if you pronounce it with the right mikudo. Dima. Dema. It's the same word as dama or dam. Blood. Blood, sweat, and tears, y'all. Watch when we talk about the curse. That sweating is also bleeding. Crying is bleeding. It's dying. Why? Because you lose your living waters. But we was made in the image of man. So when you hurt a man's character, that good character is the image of Yah. That's why Yah requires crying on the altar, but not with fake tears, y'all. Right, babies? We don't do crocodile tears. It's got to be real tears. All right. Ratzah, to murder. Numbers 30, 35, and 11. And select some city to be your cities of refuge, to which a manslayer, Rotseach, who has stricken or wounded, Maccabe, by a blow, someone accidentally, mistakenly, unintentionally, Beshegaga, may flee. So we know that an accident can happen. It's still murder by definition. But accidentally, Yah has a provision for accident. Numbers 35 and 16. If anyone strikes someone, the word is Makkah or Maccabe, with an iron object, that he should die, Yamut. That person is a murderer. Rotseach. A death, he will die, the murderer. Harotseach. And then Numbers 35 and 17, if he hits him with a stone or a piece of wood or object, this is a murderer, and he should die a death. Nowhere ever will you find Yah ever giving death. It's not a death sentence for the death of an animal, even if they do it cruelly. Yes, we know that people kill animals cruelly for the fun of it, just for the torment of it. But Yah will never, right, give a death to the flesh man, an automatic sentence of death over an animal. Not the same. Now, that person will be judged for the cruelty of life for sure, but not as a murderer. All right. Leviticus 24, 17. He who strikes any soul or being, as in man, mortally shall surely be put to death. Weishki yake, that will strike, kol nefesh, Adam. Yah's clear. Any living being, Adam, human being, any soul of a man, Adam mut, Yamut. That man shall be or die a death. 17, he who strikes a soul, being animal, mortally, shall what? Pay for it. Soul or being under soul being. So this is what it says. We makeh nefesh behema. Yeshal mana, and shall be paid or make restitution. Nefesh tachet. What does tachet mean? Tachet means underneath. Metachet, under soul. So Yah has not made the animal on the same level as man, right? You strike an animal to die, you just got to pay for it. Now, I'm not diminishing striking. This is brutally killing with no cause. And usually when people kill animals without a cause, what are they? They're angry with man. And they want to take it out on me. So actually, there's murder in their heart for some human being at the end of the day. They're putting it on the animal. And that's the what? The open gateway for murder. Right? To get the guts to do it. Wemake behema yeshalamena vemake adam yamut. And he who strikes a man shall be put to death. But an animal, you pay for it. Who are you paying? The owner, the one that was going to eat it, sacrifice it, use it for his skins, use it for his tent, use it for his fur, use it for his sandals, use it for his hat, use it for his purse, use it for his milk, use it for his grain, to grind the dirt for labor. Oh, that's food to animals too, y'all. What? You got to put a yoke over the animals and make them plow your land? Oh my goodness. That's slavery now. That's slavery. But Yah has mercy. He said, even on the Shabbat day, let the animals rest. Let the animals rest. All right. Numbers, what is that? 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land in which you are, for blood, it pollutes the land. This is the one that Damona quotes, that you can't eat meat once you get into the land of Israel. Damona allowed their people to eat meat as long as they were in America. They had to just go through a cleansing process after a certain amount of days. But once they come and join Damona, no more polluting the land with blood. They'll read it just like that. They won't read the rest. This is Numbers 35 and 33. So you shall not pollute the land in which you are. For blood, it pollutes the land. And no atonement can be made for the land, for the blood that is shed thereon, but by the blood of him who shed it. This is a universal principle in this physical world that they don't understand why the sacrifices was put in effect. They don't understand. Blood for blood, right? That's why an animal cannot completely atone, remove the sin, right? It can't completely remove the sin. It can cover it. It just gives you grace for you to repent while you are covered. If you approach Yah with sin, what's going to happen? It's going to consume you. It's going to consume you. So before you go in to the holies of holies, you got to do what? You got to wash, and then you got to make a sacrifice. It's only enough to cover you so that you can now approach Yah in his light and be totally purified. They don't understand the law of this world. And it is a universal law in this physical world, not in heaven, in this world, that everything was made from the earth. 34. So it says, Yik Kupah, that's from Yom Kippur, a day of atonement, to atone for the blood, right? So what does Yah put in place? Watch this. You shall not defile the land which you inhabit, in the midst of which I dwell. For I, Yahweh, dwell in the midst of the children of Israel. See the point? Is this about animals? No. This is about blood. This is about blood. Watch this. So I'm in Numbers. Let's go back. Let's understand what this is about. Whoever kills any person, man, the murderer, Rotzeach, shall be slain at the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person that he dies. Moreover, you shall not take no ransom for the life of a murderer who is guilty of death. There's no payment because it's not the same as an animal. You cannot pay somebody off. They must shed blood, but he shall surely be put to death. You shall take no ransom for him who is fled to the city of the refuge. So this is about those murderers that shed man's blood, either purposely or by accident, can flee to the cities of refuge, that he may come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. Why he got to wait till the death of the priest? Is there any sacrifice for murder, for shedding blood? Huh? No, none of those sacrifices was for murder. But yet in Isaiah 66, he says, he who kills a burnt offering, a sin offering, is as one who kills a man, because there's murder in their heart. There's no sacrifice for murder. There's no sacrifice for murdering a man, right? Now, why couldn't he leave? This murderer is the one that either didn't have no witnesses, so we're not sure. So we have to presume that he's innocent of doing it guilty, and or it was by mistake. The judges came and judged it, no witnesses, and it's presumed to be a mistake by accident. So he has to live in the land that is set aside for the cities of refuge, and he cannot leave until the death of the priest. Why? Tell me why. Come on, think about the science of this. Yah is perfect, y'all. Think about it. So there's no atonement for murder. So here, who bears his sin now? The priest. And we can't kill a priest, can we? And so now the sin is bearing the priest and covering for him. That's right. And so when the priest dies, he's clear. Do y'all see Yah's word? Y'all see it? And this is universal law. Y'all, they don't understand. They don't understand. Hallelujah. Y'all getting some college degrees today, right? Not Teletubby talk, right? Now I'm shying. Yup. Trip off dish. Ooh wee. Ooh wee. Yep. What? What I'm saying? Teletubby talk. Just yapping away. Trip off this. Ooh wee. Ain't saying nothing. I'm still in number 6. The cities which you shall give to the Levites, they shall be there 6 cities of refuge, which you shall give for the manslayer to flee to. And besides them, you shall give 42 cities. All the cities which you shall give to the Levites shall be 48 cities together with their suburbs. Other cities for the Levites going on down. I'm skipping. And 9. Yahweh spoke to Moshe saying, speak to the children of Israel and tell them, when you pass over to the Jordan in the land of Canaan, that you shall appoint your cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the manslayer, the one who kills a man, who kills any person, man, unwittingly, by mistake, may flee there. The city shall be to you for refuge for the avenger, that the manslayer not die until he stands before the congregation for judgment. The cities which you shall give shall be for you 6 cities of refuge. You shall give 3 cities beyond the Jordan, and you shall give 3 cities in the land of Canaan. They shall be cities of refuge for the children of Israel, and for the stranger, and for the foreigner living among them. These 6 cities be for refuge, that everyone who kills an animal, a person, unwillingly by mistake may flee there. But if that's one of those, what laws? All right, Israel. We lost the audio the last hour of this, so we're going to re-record. We're going to go over the rest of this message, and hopefully we can get it up in a timely fashion. And we ended off with Ratzak, Numbers 35, the 6 cities of refuge. So now we're understanding, right, breaking down the definition of a murderer in Torah. As we know that the argument, the false argument, the lying argument, and the idol worship of animals, to put animals equal to man or even above man, right, is a demonic doctrine. And it came from India and Tibet. And so we want to determine, as we've been determining, right, what does Torah say? And so we're going to go with what Torah says and not what Malaki or Yaki inside of Malaki continues to spit off to you like they're the voice. All right, Numbers Numbers 35, 6 cities of refuge. 16. But if these are one of those laws and commandments that was written against you, that you should not live by. It's a if and then, because you will see a judgment at the end of it. But if he struck him with an instrument of iron so that he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. 17, if he struck him with a stone in his hand, by which a man may die, and he died, he is a murderer, right? That is a statute, that is a decree, that is a kukim, and the murderer shall surely be put to death. That is a mishpatim, a judgment. Or if he struck him with a weapon of wood in his hand, by which a man died, he died, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. 19, the avenger of blood shall himself put the murderer to death. So this is the principle that blood must shed the same blood, right? There has to be a kinsman redeemer, right? And so it's the opposite of if whoever sheds the man's blood, it must be, his blood must be shed. But at the same time, the one that's supposed to shed his blood has to be related to the same blood. There is a principle in play here in this earth about blood. And it's a principle and a law in this world because that's where blood is created from. And it goes back down to the earth where it came from. He is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. The avenger of blood shall himself put the murderer to death. When he meets him, he shall put him to death. If he thrust him of hatred or hurled at him, lying in wait, so that he died, or in enmity struck him with his hands, so that he died, he who struck him shall surely be put to death. He is a murderer. The avenger of blood shall put the murderer to death when he meets him. Now, this is one of those things why Babylon is full of murder. We know Babylon is full of murder. And that land, y'all said that the sins of Babylon have what? Reached up to heaven. What has reached up to heaven? How about the blood, the innocent bloodshed that Babylon shed all over its land, first and foremost, and all over the world, right? There is a principle that you cannot go in someone's backyard, in someone's own house, and kill them. Now, has any terrorists that have come into America got away with it? America so-called got them, killed them, everything, executed them, all of that. But you don't go back into someone's territory in their land and now shed innocent blood. And our brothers and sisters that have joined the army have participated in shedding blood in someone else's land all over this world. Not to mention that America shed the blood of our ancestors to steal the very land that y'all are trying to what? Fight for. But we just saw, we're going to see a principle that when there's blood all over the land, it's going to do what to the people that eat and drink from that land? It's going to poison them. And that's what they don't understand, right? That's what they don't understand about Babylon, that land. Its sins have reached up to heaven. And that's why he said, I'm going to give them the wine press up into the bridle's horse, right? What's the bridle's? It's talking about, I'm going to destroy their whole army. I'm going to shed that whole land. The people, the children, the babies, the cows, and their horses. When he talks about horses, he's talking about their army. I'm going to destroy their army, every single last one of them. I'm going to shed blood all over that land for the amount of blood that they shed all over the world. So come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. All right. We in Deuteronomy 21, Ratzak, the atonement of an unsolved murder. This is the principle. If that is a what? A commandment or a judgment or a statute that is written against you, that you should not live by. If one be found slain, halal, right? And halal means to bore or to pierce, right? In the land which Yahweh your Elohim gives you to possess it, lying in the field, and it isn't known who has struck him, then your elders and your judges shall come forth, and they shall measure the cities which are around him who is slain. And it shall be that the city which is nearest to the slain man, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer of the herd, which hasn't been worked with, or which has not drawn in the yoke. Why are we taking a heifer that has not worked and which has not drawn in the yoke? That thing has not experienced stress, malice, or whip, pressure, sweat, tears, and pain. It is a heifer, a happy heifer. We all know, right? Well, watch this was about, right? You don't want an angry heifer cooking your food, right? Right? She over in there sweating and crying while you over here oppressing her. Woman, get in there and cook my food. She's sweating, probably spitting, and cursing while her hands is in your food. She's gonna curse your food, y'all. So we don't want an angry heifer. We want a happy heifer. This heifer has not experienced any form of an emotional pain where it can be angry, right? It has to be innocent in its emotional state, which hasn't been worked with and which has not drawn the yoke. And the elders of that city shall bring down the heifer to the valley with running water, which is neither plowed nor sown, and shall break the heifer's neck there in the valley. So it cannot be done where there is food being what? Planted or sown. Why? Because you will contaminate the seeds and the plants. The land and the soil will now what? Be cursed. We see the principle in Genesis with Cain. We see it with Cain. Now, the first curse is that death entered into the world by the sin of Adam and Hawa. Death entered into the world, and now this world became subject to death, a death process. So because of that, the land was cursed. But when Cain slew his brother on the land, what did he do to the land? Even double portion for Cain, that the land would now curse him, and only thorns and thistles would he bring forth. The curse was now directly on his seed and him and his seed and everybody on that land, because the land had innocent blood shed and there was no atonement. He refused first to make the atonement for the murder in his heart, and he gave his wheat and corn with hatred on it, but then he didn't want to give a real sacrifice, and he didn't want to repent even after. And so this is a principle in Genesis about murder on the land. And if you eat food, vegetables, herbs from that land, it is cursed, because it is the earth that is providing the energy source for your plants and vegetables. But that earth now is angry and it has blood. And those plants and fruits and vegetables will soak up the blood. It will eat the blood. Now you eating angry fruit. Thorns and thistles is what he calls it. Angry grain. What? This ain't real? How many of y'all heard of this disgusting practice that people say, I know some of y'all have heard this, about putting your menstrual blood by your plants, and it will help your plants grow. Have you heard that? Now, somebody, the one that says yes, no. Say yes out loud. You've heard, yes, this is a practice, right? Yes. What did they discover about putting blood next to the plants? It provides them with the nutrients in the blood and the life source. They will suck it up. Your DNA too. That's how you do what? GMO. GMO. So there's blood all over the land, and we eating. What about the peach bowl, right? That was a peach orchard, right? Full of our people's blood. And they was harvesting peaches. And y'all was eating peach cobbler. But we're not cursed. We don't know why we sick, right? So it says, which is neither plowed nor sown, and shall break the heaven's neck there in the valley, where the running water is. So now, the elders have to make an oath. Let's see what's going on. So he doesn't want this. He wants the blood to go in the water, to go underground, but not where you eat or drink. So what? Not to defile the land. Fine. And the priests and the sons of Levi shall come near. For them, Yahweh, your Elohim, has chosen to minister to him and to bless in the name of Yahweh. And according to the word shall every controversy and every stroke. Did I miss something? No, yes. Every stroke be. And all the elders of that city who are nearest to the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer whose neck was broken in the valley. So now they got blood on their hands, but they're innocent. The cow has no malice or hatred in it, no strife in it. So now the blood is on their hands, right? Saying, and they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood. This blood, even though they're the ones that shed it. There's a principle here. Neither have our eyes seen it. So now they got blood on their hands, but yet they're innocent of the blood. Forgive, Yahweh, your people Israel, whom you have provided an atonement. When kapar, right? An atonement. And don't allow innocent blood to remain in the midst of your people Israel. Because if it remains, it will curse everybody on it. The blood shall be forgiven them. Now, did it forgive the murderer? No. It's the murderer. This atonement is not for the murderer. It's for the innocent and the ignorant in this matter. But it still needs to be atonement, because by being in the same place, eating the same food, drinking the same water, breathing the same air, and working in the same land, we are what? Attached to the sin. All right. Moving on. So now, that's the principle. Now we got another word, harag, to kill or to slay in Genesis 4:8. Cain said to his brother Abel, let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, an open field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. The word is Yaham Gehu. Excuse me. Wayahar Gehu. From harag. Harag means to kill or to slay. We know the story of Cain and Abel, and when you read that story, it's the whole, everything right there is in the principle of the laws of this world, right there. Harag, to destroy, out of hand, kill, right? Put to death, make slaughter, slayer. 4 times in the scripture using this word for beast, between man and beast, and that is Numbers 22 and 29, when Balaam wanted to slay his ass for, what was it, kicking him or stopping him from going forward, because the angel of Yah was there, and he didn't know why the donkey was being stubborn, and he was like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna slay you if you do it again, right? Leviticus 20 and 15. Bestiality, right? If bestiality has happened, you must kill, slay the beast, right? So this slaying is a brutal beating. It is not a slaughter. It is not a ritual slaughter to slaughter the animal in a way where it does not feel the pain. This is so that they feel the pain. This is a beating to death. That is not a slaughter, right? Isaiah 22 and 13, kill for food, party, live today, die tomorrow, instead of fasting and praying. So that word is used when they were coming when the Assyrian army was coming up against Jerusalem, and they was like, hey, we're gonna die tomorrow. So let us kill today, eat, right? And live today and die tomorrow. Isaiah 27:1, Yah is slaying Leviathan. Who's Leviathan, right? Psalm 78:47, Yah slays beasts of Egypt with hail. So that hurts. That's a stoning, right? That's some big hail to kill the beast with hail. But Yah did that. And 5 times of killing by beasts, like the lions. 2 Kings 17:25, the lions killed the people in Israel that was of Assyria. Those were the Syrians that was replaced and put in the land, but they didn't know the laws of the land. They were breaking the laws of the land, and so wild lions came and ate them. In Job 20:16, the serpent, as in vipers, kill a covetous man, meaning that the serpent Satan is coming for every covetous man in the end of their judgment. Okay, moving on. So we have another word called katai, to slay. Kill, slay, a primitive root properly to cut off, i.e. figuratively to put to death or kill or slay. So it's figuratively, right? Job 13:15, though he slay me, meaning Yah, yet I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. And so this is like, man, he tore me apart. Yah tore me down, right? This is used in a way that Yah is doing this it's a good killing, right? It's not a revengeful one. It's a humbling of spirit. So now we have another word in the Torah called tabak, to slaughter, butcher, slay, prepare, or make. Joseph's hospitality to his brothers, Genesis 43:16. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, bring me the men in the house and butcher an animal and prepare, for the men will dine with me at noon, referring the slaughter of animals for food to eat, sometimes figuratively / poetically describing the wicked slave eating or devouring the righteous. So this is a word like consuming somebody, right? So this word can be used in a way that says, I'm going to consume him. I'm going to tear him up, right? I'm going to eat him alive type stuff. It's that kind of talk, right? But in literal, it is the word to describe to prepare, the kind of butchery to prepare for food to eat off of. So Yah talks about that he's going to have a feast with the Gentiles, right? Oh yeah, they feasted on us by destroying us. Yah said, I'm going to prepare a feast for myself. And that feast is the slaughtering of the nations, right? That come up against us in the end. Yah is going to tabak them all. Well, who's Leviathan? I'm going to save that. Jeremiah 11:19, of the prophet exposing and being exposed to his enemies. So this is Yahushua's words, right? Being put out in Jeremiah's mouth about what would happen, that they surround him like lions for the hunt, for the prey, right? A prophet being exposed to his enemies. That's what happens when we get set up by lions and tigers and bears, right? They're coming to devour us, to eat us. Jeremiah 51:40, vengeance upon Babylon, like lambs to the slaughter. That's what Yah says. They slaughtered my sheep, I'm going to slaughter them like sheep. Ezekiel 21:15, of a sword for the slaughter of Israel in judgment. So Yah talks about that I'm going to devour Israel as well. I'm going to slay them with the sword of judgment. So this is righteous judgment. Hallelujah. Moving on. Shakat, to slaughter, beat, kill, to offer. Usually it's a technical term of killing a sacrifice. So this is a technical term of what it is that you're doing or what. Can be used interchangeably with the slaughter of a person. Why? And or for food connected with the sacrifice. In respect to persons, usually a killing sanctioned as a righteous judgment by Yah, also in human sacrifices or children to idols. So this is why this word is used in reference to people as well, but it's not for food to eat, right? We don't eat people, but as in Abraham giving up his son. But this was one of the, it was a test that he put Abraham through, right? Genesis 22:8. Abraham said Elohim will provide himself a lamb for a burnt offering. Le ula, a burnt offering. My son. So they both went together. They came to the place where Elohim had told him of. Abraham built the altar there and laid the wood in order, bound Isaac his son, and laid him on the altar and on the wood. 10. Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to kill the son. Right? So the killing is what he's doing. It's a offering kill as a sacrifice. Now, we don't kill humans, but what was this Abraham was doing? What was this? Anybody know? A what? It was a foreshadow of Yahushua. It was a test that he had to go through to see if he was worthy of the mercy of Yahushua and the sacrifice. And so after he was willing to do it, though Yah did not want this, Abraham did this because he knew it was a principle in his world, right? He understood the principles of this world, but it was a foreshadow of Yahushua, and he was willing to give up his son, willing. And so after he was willing to do it, Yah said, don't do it. I know now that you are willing to give up your firstborn. So now your seed is worth my firstborn. And we don't understand the test that Yah would put us through. Why would Yah ask us to do such things? Just to test you. You don't even know if he's going to complete the test with you. You don't know the outcome of the test until you walk through it. Now, this was the very thing. After that, Yah put in law, we don't sacrifice humans. Who did that? The Canaanites, the Jebusites, and the Hittites, and a whole lot of other stuff that went with it. Why did they do this? Because they understood the principle of this world, how to summon the spiritual forces of life and death and blessings and cursing and powers. But what were they sacrificing to? Yah? No. The spirits, the demonic spirit, were not the demonic spirits also made from the earth? That's why it works with them too. Because when they lived in the physical world, they were made from what? Spiritual bodies? Or they were made from the earth, from women. There's a reason why they chose women. Now, they are disembodied spirits, but they still are connected to the water and to this earth. And that's why in sacrificing, because it's a law in this world, you must know who you sacrificing to and how. Because if you are sacrificing not to Yah, and he doesn't accept the sacrifice, then where does it go? To a demon, automatic. To a demon. Now, one might say, well, that sacrifice, what about the slaughtering of the kid? No, Yah says, do it in thanksgiving. There is compassion that we do that with. There's no pleasure in the killing and the slaughtering of the animal. But we must now, what? Thank Yah and recognize what he has done. Recognize that he's provided the creature for this purpose. And if we have treated our creatures correctly, they were put here to serve us for that very reason and for every other reason. But the life goes back to Yah. All right. So Genesis 9 is the principle. Genesis 9:1. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. This is a mystery about why he sent Adam the first time. It said, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. When you see that, that's the Genesis story finishing out. Adam fell when? On the 6th, right after he was created and made. But the beast was created right before before that. And so we fell right after that and didn't complete the 6th day to even hear the rest of it. Y'all said, multiply, be fruitful, replenish the earth, and I give you dominion over everything. Did Adam ever take full dominion over the whole creation? No, he didn't. And so when we get to the word, it says, I created these things to be received with thanksgiving. Who is these fools to go in and impute in Genesis what it does not say? But you see the prophets and you see Noah, who was a prophet, y'all, finishing out the word of Yah from the Genesis story. We still in Genesis, mind you, and fear of you, right? And so he told that have dominion. But when we fell, did the animals have fear of us? No, they didn't. We did not finish the domination. But now he gave full dominion in the time of Noah because he was righteous. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all wherewith the ground teemeth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. In your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be for food for you. Now people be like, we know that well, where's the clean and unclean? In the end of this chapter. Yah is not incomplete in his word. Just because he don't speak like you speak, don't count him as incomplete, because his word is complete. It's right there when he says now. That's how Paul spoke. That's how all the prophets spoke. That's how I speak. That's how y'all get me wrong a lot. Well, you pick apart the first issue of what I said, how do I say it? The topic of what I'm saying, and then you don't listen to the details of me breaking it down. So let me now explain what I mean by da 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 da. We talk like that. Yah talks like that, and so do the prophets. And this is why this fool can't reconcile Yah's word, because it's right there in the next chapter for him explaining. Well, let me explain what I mean now. When I say every moving thing that liveth shall be for food for you, as the green herb. Is this a parable? The word is ka. It's not meka. As if, like the vegetables. Sort of in parable like a vegetable. No, he said, just as the green herb. It's not parable. He's saying it's good, just like the green herb. And I have given you all. Did he give Adam all in the beginning? No, he fell before he got it all. Now he gave them all. How could that be a if and then? Do you see an if and then in here? Do you see a statute or decree that we should not live by? No, I see a blessing. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth. The fear of every beast shall be upon you. I have delivered everything in your hand. Every moving thing shall be for food as the green herbs. Completing statement is good. Now I have given you all. That's a blessing, y'all. That's not a curse. That's not even a command. It doesn't go in the bracket of command or to do or not to do. He's saying, here it is. It's all yours. Only flesh. Yah is clear about his word. Only flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, you shall not eat. Yah's clear. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. Meaning that if anything kills man, I'm going to require it of them. At the hand of every beast will I require it. That's right. Any beast kill a man, I'm going to require the life of that animal. But you would never see Yah reverse that. You will never see Yah put an animal on the same stage as a human. This is idol worship to the max. And surely the blood of your lives will I require. And at the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, if a man kills a man, I require it. Even at the hand of every man's brother, I will require the life of man. That the man's brother is the king, is the redeemer, is the avenger. I will require the life of man. Whoso sheds man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Elohim made he man. What is murder? this nigga gonna call us murderers. He's going to hell just for saying that. And he doesn't realize that he's sinning. First of all, he's blaspheming the word. And he's sinning by false accusing his brother in, which is slander, which is murder by itself. For him to tell us that we wicked, we got blood on our hands, we done killed the innocent because we eat meat, that we going to hell into the lake of fire, is murder from his mouth. And so that's what y'all is going to require of him. Just wait and see. As he murders us falsely by slander and false accusation, the same is going to be done to him as it is happening right now. All right, moving forward. Zabak. Now, this is the official word of to slaughter for sacrifice, to kill, to offer, do sacrifice, slay, a primitive root to slaughter an animal, usually in sacrifice, kill, offer, to do a sacrifice, or to do or slay. Genesis 31 and 53, and the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Nahor, the Elohim of their fathers, judged between us. Then Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob offered a zibak in the mountain and called his relatives to eat bread, lechem. Every sacrifice has a grain offering, bread. They ate bread and stayed in the night mountain, stayed all night in the mountain. Now, if anybody understands the sacrifices, you would know what goes with it. So when we get to the Last Supper of Yahushua, they only have bread and wine at the table, y'all, for dinner. Does that make any sense at all? So when he said the one that's going to sop in mine, the one that sops in my bowl is the one that's going to betray me. Well, what did he sop the bread in? Don't tell me David's beans or Daniel's beans. It wasn't Daniel's beans, y'all. It tells you right there, go prepare the Passover lamb. Go get some meat. It tells you right there. And these fools will sit up here and say the Messiah didn't eat no meat. What was on that table? Bread and wine? Oh, this is so stupid. That's right. It's stupid. Tell them. That's right. It's stupid, ain't it? Don't say that. All right. Zabak, to slaughter for sacrifice. Hebrews 13:9. Do not be carried away by all kinds of various and strange teachings. It is good to be strengthened by grace for the heart. That's what's good for the heart. That's what's good for the heart, right? Black people got heart disease. Black people got liver disease. This is all your heart and entrail. We got kidneys, gallbladder, colon, mind disease, diabetes in the mind. That's what it is. Alzheimer's, all that other stuff. Whatever it is that's going on. That's the heart and the entrails, which is called the heart. To be strengthened by grace is what's good for the heart. Let me say it again. Do not be carried away. Be entrenched in the knowledge, the science, figuring out, trying to figure out how to heal yourself with all kinds of various and strange teachings, doctrines, y'all. It is good to be strengthened by grace. That word strengthened is to be well and healthy by grace for the heart, not by eating foods. Not by eating foods, which is of no benefit or profit or help to those who are devoted to it, that make their belly their idol. It doesn't matter if it's meat or mushrooms or vegetables. I have seen some obese vegetarians in my lifetime, and they stuffing their face with every piece of cabbage and, what's that, gluten and everything else. 10, we have an altar from which to eat. This is our meal. What's our meal at the end of the day? That is the grace that's good for the heart. This is our altar. The altar is the heart for which we eat. Those who minister at the tabernacle have no authority over this, right? And what is he saying? Because those that ministered in the tabernacle was the priests, and they were the ones that got to partake in the eating of the sacrifices, right? But now we can, being our own priest, well, not our own priest, but you know what I'm saying. You got your own altars, every single one of you, which is your heart. And there is a sacrifice that Yah has required you put on it. And it's by his grace that will cure your heart. And so you can minister to your own heart and your own altar by the food of Yahushua, which was his body, which was his blood, the wine, which was the bread that was broken. 11, the high priest carries the blood of animals in the most holy place as a sin offering. What's the offering? The meat or the blood? This is also what they don't understand. What's the sin offering? The meat or the blood? The blood. That's where the sin is, y'all. But the bodies, flesh, are burned outside the camp, right? This is also something they don't understand. And so Yahushua also suffered outside the city gate to make the people holy through his own blood. Let us then go to him outside the camp, bearing the disgrace he bore. For here we do not have an enduring city. Jerusalem is not going to be the center forever, right? There is a place that the true worshipers are going to worship. And it's not here in Jerusalem. It is not at Mount Gerizim, right? But we are looking for the city that is to come. What city is that, y'all? That's the kingdom of heaven. And that's where our high priest is sitting right now, preparing our place to do what? For us to go up? No, for it to come down. And so whatever that is in Revelations, y'all, those trees and those leaves is not on the earth right now. 15, through him, then we should offer a sacrifice of praise and thanks offering through everything to every Elohim. That is the fruit of the lips that openly professes his name. What is he saying? So when you eat, the sacrifice is not the animal. When you eat, we must what? Give thanks. Praise him and thank him. Give an offering of gratitude without mouths. Thank you for the food that you have created to be received. That's what Paul said. That's what Timothy said, right? That's what Moses said. That's what Aaron said. That's what all of them said. That's what's missing with half of these Negroes in the first place. They get down there and say, y'all's good, y'all's great, thank you for the food, I'm in. Right? Right? And they're not even considering what's going on in their heart. 16, and do not forget to do good and to share. What are we talking about? The food. Do not forget to share your food, your meat, y'all, with other people. And so, y'all, I like, that's right. But look how she talk about meat. Yeah, but I be wanting to share. Don't I want to share my meat with y'all? Yeah. Man, I can't stand it when I make a good piece of something and ain't nobody there to share it with. I'm gonna call somebody, girl, get some of this, or I eat it all. It's good. That's what I want to do. I want to share it with y'all. But then if y'all will come with this various kinds of strange teachings, I'll be like, well, good for you. Move, get out the way. I'll eat it all myself. More for me, less for you. That's my attitude. All right. And nobody gonna make me ashamed of it, right? And nobody gonna clip that apart. Yeah, look at it, killing the meat, the blood. You're not gonna make me no ashamed of nothing. I know the word of God, and I've received it with thanksgiving. I have compassion on the animals that he gave, and the life force was given back to the one that gave it. I didn't steal nobody's life. Yah's the one that give life and the one that take it. And if he say you can take the life, but give it back to me and eat the flesh from which you came from in the first place, then that's what Yah's word is, and there's no shame in it. All right. Zabak, 1 Timothy 4, warning against false teaching. Now, this is the issue. This is the issue why none of those nigger brews want to mention my name about slaying the false rubber hammer. They don't want to mention me, give me no credit at all, because my teachers come with another something that they don't want nobody to hear. And they gearing up. They gearing up. These brothers are gearing up, waiting for me to come out with it. So they want to play with this doctrine right here and get it out there and prepare for it. That's why they don't want nobody to hear me, because I teach something that they also don't want to hear. And it's in all my lessons. That's why they don't want to mention my name. When they read this stuff, right, now we're going to get to it. Y'all know what it is. But they really can't speak against it. They can't. They cannot, because it's all through the book. It's Yahushua's words. It's Paul's words. The true Essenes. The ones that was found in the Quran. I mean, the Quran caves, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls. It's all in there. And all of those that dedicated to their life to Yah speak about this issue. But they want to act like that people that promote this, teach this, require, if they have a group of dedicated, if anybody is a true Essene, if anybody is a true Nazarene, that would be us. Go learn the doctrine. It was all about abstaining from fornication, not meat. That's why you keep seeing Paul says, meat, food for the body, belly for the food, but fornication is not. That's the one thing that's going to get you a straight ticket to hell, y'all. Straight. And we're not about that here. But how many fornicators is like brewing in these camps? All right. But the Spirit expressingly, y'all know what that means, is hollering, y'all. Hear this, Israel. Hear this, remnant. Hear this, y'all, in the last days. Listen to this. What the Spirit is trying to say. How did the Spirit express this then? Because they were trying to push this then. That in the latter times, today, some will fall away from the faith, paying attention to seducing or misleading dead spirits. That would be whatever spirit that provided Dr. Sabi with his knowledge. That would be whatever spirit that provided Dr. Africa Lala with his knowledge. And they're dead now, conjuring up. That would be Yaki, who's conjuring up those two dead people for their knowledge and whatever they left behind, right? And that would be also Ben Amin, that dead Negro. That's right, I said it. That's also, y'all are conjuring up. And his books he left behind with his false wisdom. And how many times has it been proven through community that don't bring no longer life or health to nobody? It's a lie. It's a lie. You got a whole community that lived like this for 40 years, proving y'all Negroes a lie. They dying of cancer, high blood pressure, help me, diabetes, colon, liver, all of it, diabetes of the brain, everything they dying with. The children, their teeth is all like this before they get 5 years old. They retarded. A lot of retarded babies. They had a lot of stillborn babies at that. Right? With this vegan diet, vegan, not even vegetarian, and that raw stuff. And they dying off. They look like they in their 70s and 80s, y'all. No, they didn't. They didn't even reach those ages. They look older than they are. And they are dying off. They're dying in their 30s and 40s, y'all. And guess what they have returned to? Because their diet is not working while they still speaking foolishness about the diet. They all now have returned to the doctors to take their pills and medicine and painkillers for blood pressure, sugar, diabetes, heart, lung. And they got all the other diseases floating around there too. Why are they dying? Not because of the food that they did or did not eat, but because they remained in sin. That's right. Doctrines introduced, spirits and doctrines introduced, or teachings, instructions or teachings of demons. And I just explained to you why this is a teaching of demons, why the demons are teaching this. Through the hypocrisy of men speaking lies. Everybody that have taught this doctrine, they are all hypocrites. They're hypocrites, y'all. They're hypocrites. And they are speaking lies. All of that stuff about we healing this, healing that, they're all lying. Benjamin lied, Dr. Layla, Sabi, all of them. El Hagan, this Yaki Malaki, is all lies. He don't have no real, true testimony. It's lies. It's lies. He ain't healed nobody of AIDS. He didn't heal nobody of no cancers. There is no tumors that's dropping out somebody's butthole because they had some 3 bitters. Tumors don't go into somebody's, that don't make no sense. That look like somebody's dead baby that he done aborted by mistake. No damn tumor came out of somebody's bowel movement. Don't make no sense. That's why he got a disclaimer. If he was doing the work of Yah, there would be no disclaimer. It would be 100% proof and a true testimony and a witness. From the beginning, they have none. They're just speaking out their mouth. It's lies. Okay, through hypocrisy of men speaking lies, branded in their own conscience with a hot iron. It's seared. It's seared. Their neurons is done. They cannot perceive anything else. That's what you hear from Yahweh. They don't want it. They can't hear anything else. Prevent, hinder, and restrain marriage. Now, these niggas going to say that's people that want to prevent multiple marriage. No, that's not, because what you doing, multiple marriage, is not marriage according to Torah. It never was. That's not marriage according to Torah. You need paperwork, and it's impossible for now one of you Negroes to have a second wife and have a legit marriage in Torah. That ain't what this is talking about. This is talking about what? Shacking up. It's talking about your multiple marriages, right? That is a hindrance of marriage, but what you are doing is fornicating, right? That's the next step. When you hinder marriage, there's going to be fornication. What's the other hindering of marriage? Hebrew Israelites that think they got the authority to write a letter. I love you, you my babe. Now, I slept with you yesterday, so you mine. Sign a letter. No documentation. Say that y'all don't have to submit to the laws of the land, and y'all are married by what? These nigga bruise words. And a 3-year-old love letter that you write like a kindergarten to the girl that you got a crush. You know what I'm saying? That's how we used to marry in 3rd and 4th grade. Right? Who didn't receive a letter? Will you be my girlfriend? Yes or no? Come on. Y'all know it's true. Right? If that's marriage, we in trouble. Right? Shoot. What's the other thing that in law, everything he's saying is Torah. What the other thing in law of preventing marriage? See, this is a doctrine that's going to flourish in the Hebrew Israelite. It could be multiple marriage against multiple, because that's exactly what's flourishing. What's flourishing is these brothers taking women without going to the court system, right? What else is flourishing in the last days? Taking women's virginity and not marrying them. Your first, right? Not her first, your first. I mean, it's supposed to be her first too. I'm saying both ways, right? But usually the father would say, you gonna get to the girl, you gonna get married. Shotgun weddings. We had that. We had a respectable culture concerning that in our nation. It was Torah, and y'all put it aside. Y'all hindered, prevented, and restrained true marriage. From that day, even after the shotguns weddings was over, what did they do? They started doing what? Sending the girls away. And so the boys could continue on without bearing any shame, having any responsibility, because they were going to lose their education or whatever. That started what? In the 60s, the 50s, and the 60s. That was the beginning of it. And now it has flourished to a way, a doctrine, a teaching. Put on a condom. Sow your wild oats. That's not the one. But Torah says when a young man takes a maiden, he's supposed to marry her. The first one he sleeps with, he's supposed to marry her. There's no other laws attached to that. Whether he keeps Shabbat or not, whether he's a Hebrew identity or not. No, that's the one you marry. The one you slept with. Y'all are one flesh. It don't matter if y'all not one spirit. Y'all are one flesh. And so the fathers, not mothers, the fathers have prevented the rightful and lawful marriage according to the commandment that when a young man takes a woman's virginity that he's supposed to marry her. The first one he sleeps with. His first. So now what do? They be like, not that one, right? Because he's only 13 or 14 when he's doing it. But what does Torah say? What does Torah say? What would Torah do if a 13 and 14-year-old, they would be betrothed, not married, they would be betrothed and wait until they became of age, which would be what age, y'all? 20. 20. That's the law. But these fools don't know that. So they're going to read. That's why they don't want to point nobody my direction. Because I'm pulling this out along with this meat eating doctrine. They don't want nobody to hear that. Don't worry. It doesn't matter, y'all. The elect will. The elect will. Once again, majority don't rule. The majority of y'all is going to hell. So y'all can be the majority. Y'all can gang up against me, conspire, not. It don't matter. Yah's voice has gone out, and the ones that are his sheep will hear the call. If we are the Nazarenes, these Negroes is hypocrites. That's what I teach. I teach the true doctrine of the Nazarene. And it ain't got nothing to do with food. But they don't want that, right? So they don't want to mention my name. Cowards. All of y'all are cowards. You're suckers and cowards. And y'all can gear up for the war on this one. Gear up. It's going to be me against all of y'all Negroes. I don't need to call my enemies to link up with me and my sisters to get the scriptures for this. Come on, you do a little lecture on it and bang up on these brothers. Let's teach. I don't need to bang up and gang up on nobody. I got y'all sword, and it's sharper than any rubber hammer, rubber sword, and falsehood that y'all got. I got y'all's word total from the beginning to the end. All you got is a tradition of your fathers that proves not to be good. All right. So off of that, we coming. Y'all can get up for me. The chauvinistic, nasty, foul-mouthed men that have no respect for your women. That's right. And when you treat your women like that, y'all gonna send your mother to smack you. Man, you should hear the way these brothers talk about their sisters. Nasty. Thinking they holy. That's right. You're going to get smacked by a mother. You're a bunch of women yourself. And commanding, right? So one is a preventing or restraining. This is a commanding to abstain from foods which Elohim created to be received with thanksgiving by those who believe and know the truth. That's what we read all through the beginning to the end. For every creature of Elohim is good, and nothing is to be rejected. You see, he's writing it just the way Noah wrote it, right? Every creature, as long as it's received with thanksgiving. But every creature is good and nothing to be rejected if it is received with what? Thanksgiving. For it is sanctified through the word of Elohim and prayer. So he doesn't have to say clean and unclean foods. We already had that principle from the beginning. What was clean? What is food, y'all? What is food? And it was sanctified now clearly through the word. If you instruct your brothers of these things, which I have been instructed from every vegan and vegetarian that has walked through my ministry, I've instructed you. I haven't said don't eat your vegetables. I do encourage you to taste my good lamb. But if you want to walk around here like a doctrine of health, you gotta go. Excuse me, you gotta go. Because you're gonna pollute, that's a doctrine of demons, and you're gonna pollute somebody else with it. I don't care about your weight. You can be as skinny as you want to be. That don't mean you healthier than nobody else. If you instruct your brothers of these things, you will be a good servant of Messiah, Yahushua, nourished in the word of the faith and of good doctrine, which you have followed. I'm coming down to the end of this, Israel. 1 Timothy 1, warning against false teachers. 3, as I urged you when I was going to Macedonia, stay at Ephesus, that you might command certain men not to teach a different doctrine, neither to pay attention to myths and endless genealogies, which cause disputes, rather than Elohim's stewardship, which is in faith. But the goal of this command is love out of a pure heart and a good conscience and sincere faith, from which things some, having missed the mark, have turned aside to vain talking. What does it mean to miss the mark? What is he saying? He sinned. This is sin. Their vain speech, that kind of speech. He said, I ain't teaching nobody. Yes, he is. That's right. It's vain speech. It's myths. Having missed the mark, have turned aside to vain talking, useless speech, desiring to be teachers of the law, though they understand neither what they say nor about what they strongly affirm. Have not proved that Malaki has never been a standing hammer. He's been faking it the whole time. None of them. But we know that the law is good if a man uses it lawfully, as knowing this, that law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and the insubordinate, for the unrighteous and sinners, and for the unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers or manslayers, for the sexual immoral, for the homosexuals, for slave traders and liars, for perjurers, and for any other thing contrary to sound doctrine. All of those laws that was written against you as a testimony was for those of you that would be prone to do these things, to make it clear to you. Thou shalt not. According to the good news, which is the flesh, basara, of the glory of the blessed Elohim, which was committed to my trust. Zabak, 1 Corinthians 6, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are profitable. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of anything. This is Paul saying, food is not going to rule me one way or another. Eat, don't eat, vegetables, meat, gravy, bread, wine, nothing. I will not be brought under subjugation or submission to any of it. But food is for the belly. It's not for this. And belly was made for food. But Elohim will bring to nothing, render inoperative, abolish both it and them. It is the belly, and them being all foods. But the body is not for sexual immorality, but for Yahweh, and Yahweh for the body. Now, Israel, that's the end of my lesson. I keep saying that I'm going to get to the sacrifices. Hopefully we can get that in this Shabbat. And so, Israel, that's my message. Yaki inside of Malaki is proven to be, once again, a liar, a deceiver, a fool, blind, mad, demonic, no spine, dumb, ignorant. No, he can't see left and right, up and down. but he speaks and he affirms what he does not know. Until then, I got some more hammering the rubber hammer. I got some more fire missiles to throw, and I know, like he said, he ain't gonna stop. But we know he's a coward because he won't mention my name. You coward. All day. So you put a threat out there, what you gonna do? I say your name all day. It's all in my mouth. We know that's that street talk. You best keep your name on my mouth. You best keep my name. It's all in my mouth. Yaki inside Malaki. Yaki inside Malaki. Yaki inside Malaki. You homosexual fool. That's what you get for opening your mouth wide to the devil. All right. Shabbat Shalom, Israel, to the next one. To the remnant, enjoy the truth and nothing but the truth. But I got some swords to swing and slay beasts. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, we affirm that this message is the truth and nothing but the truth. Selah.